Hello everybody, Happy New Year. First stream of the year today. It's gonna be really short. It's just gonna be a little bit of Outriders, a game I've already played on stream, I think, completion, and I just played it casually off stream during the holidays. After finishing my grind to high MMR in Marvel Rivals, and yeah, so I was like, looking for another FPS, and I think I never showcased it, I think in German, so I only showcased it in German so far, so I thought it was maybe a good idea to do the same in English, and just like a short breaking the ice stream after the holiday break. My chat currently is not working because my tablet is charging like omega slow. I still can't believe how slow it charges, but it's not a bug, it's also not a feature, it's just like by design. I did not know charging could be such an issue on a device. It's not an issue if it's not empty, but since it went empty over the holidays, I'm gonna have to live without chat for like 2 to 10 minutes, depending on how fast it reaches its 5%. Yeah, it's a low-end tablet just there to display chat, so not a lot of expectations towards this. And otherwise, it works perfectly fine and does what I wanted to. Yeah, so what class are we playing? We're playing the Trickster. Very simple early campaign gameplay here. Like, I would say early to mid-campaign, probably mid-campaign gameplay. This is our current stats here. Like you see, we're not max level yet. These are the abilities we're using, and I'm using a shotgun build, using the Perpetuum Mobile here to just get infinite uptime on the Twisted Round skill. A build I thought of when the game came out back in the day, and I just felt like playing the game again. I think I never played it on the 4090, and yeah, also looking forward to the 5090 coming out this month. Maybe we're finally will be playing Horizon. And I'm saying maybe because it's gonna be really hard to get. Like the 4090 and the 3090, I got really lucky like camping the release window. Since I'm not using any scripts or like bots like scalpers are, I'm at a disadvantage, right, when buying the card when they come out. And it was a real hassle to get it on launch, and this time I will obviously try to do it again, but it could end up not working. And if the price is unexpectedly high, I might second guess the decision, but unexpectedly high would mean beyond. I'm not going to mention any numbers because I think, I don't want to, give Nvidia any reason to to do the unwanted thing. My limit is probably way higher than the average limit though, so yeah, I really hope they don't go too high, right? The cheaper the better, the more people can afford it. And but I will be buying it, let's put it that way, unless it's like unexpectedly high, but I'm not going to say that number because I think it should never be put out there, right? I think we're all better off if Nvidia doesn't know what we would be willing to pay. I mean, then again, let's be real, full disclosure, I own stocks of Nvidia, so you should see what I say as, I guess, with some bias. And Nvidia stock definitely will pay for the card itself, so I'm basically getting it for free, right? But like, I'm not sponsoring anything, it's just like my personal private investment in the company, and yeah, I do disclose those things when I talk about it for transparency reasons, right? Never financial advice anyway, so yeah, just like about the card price, you might be, oh man, are you stupid, you're gonna pay XYZ for it. The reality is, I'm not paying for it, right? Nvidia is paying for it, so let's be completely honest here, right? So I'm not too worried about the price point, but I'm also not like I'm more worried about the availability, to be honest, right? It's going to be very, very hard to get, and I will be trying my damnedest to get it as soon as possible. And then this PC will go to my girlfriend, like the 4090 PC, and the 3090 PC will go to her partner, and it's going to be like a cascade of PCs, and then we have like 3 high-end PCs, and next year, like next gen, I will have to think on what exactly I want to do, because then the 3090 PC would rotate out, and there's still this bug, is crazy, was there on release here. Yeah, but really looking forward to seeing what it's like, and yeah, and really, by the way, Marvel Rivals, Not a perfect game, obviously. Has a lot of still, I think, work in progress stuff. Like it has like forced mouse smoothing and stuff like that. But also at the same time, really fun to play. And I think Overwatch is in a really, really tough spot here because Marvel is a huge IP and the game is pretty good. And I might also almost say third person might be better for this type of game. It enables melee characters more naturally, it gives you more oversight over the battlefield. Yeah, the FOV is a bit low in the game, but in general I think the idea of it is pretty nice. So Marvel Rivals, definitely fun. By the way, what character did I play? Too high Edo. Well, I only play Psylocke. I mean Psylocke. I picked the character because she looked cute. Then she played a bit like a mix of Tracer, Sombra, Genji, and Reaper, I guess. And yeah, really cool. Very unique character from a skill combination set. And very fun to play. I think considered one of the harder characters in the game. And not OP, not weak, right? A solid character, I think. And I just picked her up based on looks randomly. Was the only character I ever played. And yeah, really lucky it worked out. You might be wondering, why are you not ADSing? It's like, for those who know, it's like it's more of a third-person shooter where you ADS usually. I kind of noticed that the shotgun builds, because last time I played the shotgun build, I definitely did ADS the entire time. But I kind of noticed it's not required, right? And I'm not 100% sure if left click here adds like lag to it when you're not ADS, because you see like the weapon, right? It gets moved forward and then he shoots. So there seems to be a slightly increased time to shoot, basically, but at the same time I also think like it's kind of irrelevant, to be honest. So yeah, I don't think it's really that important. Yeah, but definitely really happy about it, right? I'm not getting any younger, so every time I can still see I can play at the top in any game online, you know, I'm happy, right? I don't have a lot of games I care about that I try to go for higher ranks, but definitely Marvel was a fun experience. And I still would enjoy it, to be honest. It has a small problem. It has like targeted bans because of the one issue the devs have, and the one issue is they're showing the names of the players ahead of time. And in high elo, you get target banned, right? If you're like a one trick that's really good, people will target ban your hero, even if it's not a normal ban. Because Psylocke definitely is not a normal ban in Marvel, usually. There are some people who don't like her, but there's so many really OP characters that Psylocke definitely is more of a niche ban. And yeah, obviously you can see people that just played with you and saw how you did on her will ban her next match if they get together. And in general, the more known you get, the easier people are going to be target banning you. So yeah, that's the reason why I'm not currently playing until they fix that. And once they fix it, I don't know if I will go back or not. I hope mouse moving is fixed too. But yeah, it's still a fun experience, right? It's just like kind of hard to play. I mean, I didn't mind while climbing because losing some matches because of that is perfectly fine. But now I would just want quality games and fun, right? And every time I get a match where you get target banned and then you know, it just already starts with, you know, not being able to play the character I enjoy, and then, you know, I have to flex on something else, which is also fine, but I just don't enjoy the other characters as much. I think they're fun characters overall, but it's just like Psylocke is such a versatile and flexible character that it's just so much more fun for me than other characters, and yeah, that's the reason why I play her, right? Because she's fun. Not because I'm particularly good with her compared to other characters. I'm pretty sure I can play any character at her level. It's just like she's the one I enjoy, and every time I have to play and then get target banned, it's like, ah, you know, just another game I have to play a character I don't care about. So yeah, and that's the main reason why I stopped after hitting too high rank for that not to be an issue. And then again, the game has a weird system where in Diamond it starts that you can ban. So, you know, there was not too big of an issue because the player pool was still big enough. But then in GM, you know, you get like to the point where people do care enough to fuck you over if they can. So, yeah, I definitely had like almost like, I would say 1/3 of the game's setup would be banned against me, which is just not a fun experience, to be honest, because of an oversight of the devs, right? Fix is obviously to not show enemy player names while loading the game, right? Before bans. Afterwards, perfectly fine. But before ban phase, you don't want to know, right? It's like in League of Legends, if you go into the ban phase, you will see summoner 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, right? You won't see a name because it's already hard enough to not get, like, you know, if you're a streamer, for example, and you stream the game, it's super easy to look what you're doing right in high elo. You know who's playing, and you can just like stream snipe them. So you can already know that, and then you're making it like so even like, you know, if you're not streaming, people can easily stream snipe, like see you. It's really stupid, and I really hope they fix it. You know, it's a small thing for, I mean, it is 99% of the people are not going to be affected by it, so it's a really small issue. But if you're affected by it, it's stupid, right? It's unnecessary. Okay, where are we going? I'm just brain AFK here for a moment. No, we already have this quest. I wish this was grayed out a bit more. I guess you can replay them if you care, but... what are we doing? So we have to talk to him. Yeah, game, by the way, is really good. I really like Outriders. I think it's a very underrated game if you just enjoy shooting things and, you know, you like a very unique and fun, honestly, gameplay loop from a, you know, ability perspective. I don't think it's like a mix of Remnant 2 and, I mean, Remnant and Borderlands with a very unique personal touch. So I think, you know, it's so unique, right? I think it's very, very hard for me. I mean, put Destiny in there, whatnot, but it's just like, I think Outriders works perfectly well as an offline solo, and not offline, it's online, but it's not technically online, right? You just have to go log in. Yeah, it's a very, very cool solo experience, and I really do enjoy the game tremendously. I remember this boss being really annoying for shotguns. And I do remember why, because I don't deal any damage. I think here we have to go take cover. Since I don't use the cover system, I hope this is just gonna work by standing here. I don't know where to shoot him. He doesn't seem to have any weak spots that are noteworthy. Ah, here, the eye seems to be working. This is really unfortunate. Our damage is abysmal. The good news is we have infinite ammo, so that's not going to be a problem. You can't TP behind him either, right? So that's really stupid too. This is normal that this is so bad. I think we're getting like damage drop off here. I don't even know if you can kill you with this if you're full, like full low HP, whatever it is. This is horrible. I'm also going to turn on the chat in a moment. I think the tablet just turned on. Yeah, I don't know. I'm just gonna see. Is the tablet ready here? No, it's at 8%. Wait, 8% should be enough to turn it on. Why doesn't it turn on itself? Man, what a... Okay, now it's booting up. Okay, no, you can't. Okay, so we have to go into cover for this one. Yeah, I think I remember this boss being an oversight from a design perspective. Because it forces you to play long-range weapons against this enemy. And I mean, let's just do this, right? We can just, like... I don't know if this is good enough. Ah, I hate that. You can't TP back, I think, and change your build. Which is really weird. Yeah, see, is this double gun gonna deal more damage to him? I mean, not significantly, right? I mean, for sure it's better than a shotgun, but... Yeah, that's a real shame. You can also go into cover like this for these sections. But I really don't play it. Yeah, that's the funny thing, right? This is one of those games you could play it as a cover shooter, but it's kind of not designed to be one, which is so weird. It feels at first you're like playing a cover shooter, and I mean not at first, but you're like, oh yeah, the mechanics look like a cover shooter, and then you realize, no, it's not really a cover shooter. Man, this is like the craziest HP pull I've ever seen. I don't even know where his weak spots are. Maybe it's like the eggs or some shit. I don't even know. I can't remember what he did there. What an annoying bitch. Yeah, this build is not meant for boss fights. You can really tell a lot of it is designed around different things here. At least we have lifesteal on this button, which is really lucky because we don't have any healing sources during boss fights beyond lifesteal. I think boss fights in general should have ad phases in this game. I think their design here is really suboptimal. Yeah, the bosses I think are kind of the weakest parts of the game, but the normal combat is really, really fun. I mean, the bosses are also fun, but not to the same degree, I think. Yeah, and also the game has the classic issue where the FOV when you ADS is so high, so low, that you can't see the ground targeting, and then they put grass under it too, so you can't see shit. It's kind of really silly. Yeah, but it's okay, this gun's way better than the other one. That was really greedy. And you can dodge through those, there's no iframes as far as I'm aware of. Okay, I'm just like throwing here. We're gonna pay the price at some point, so I'm gonna run out of HP. Oh, I couldn't roll because of this, the rock was blocking my path. Yeah, here we want to make sure we're full HP because he's going to do some kind of fucking AoE from above, which sucks ass, to be honest. And this guy has way too much HP for my build. It's a short range build, and he's like the... Oh, you can one-shot me with this? Okay, then I'm going to play him on the cover. Okay, let's put on the tablet. Sorry for not having chat so long. Still starting. Crazy. But I'm going to wait for it. And obviously I'm going to check the messages I missed. If I missed any. Yeah, I mean, like I said, this build is not against bosses. It's like very much focused around killing enemies efficiently and like mobs and not boss fights. There are builds that are good against both, but I don't think this is it. I think this is quite the opposite of it. Okay, so now the chat should potentially work. I mean, the tablet's so fucking slow when starting up. I mean, it costs like, what, 200 bucks, so I'm not gonna complain about it. Okay, nice. I'm gonna check here. Okay, we should be good to go. Yeah, and also looking forward to obviously buying the complete PC. Then with the 5090, I hope AMD releases its CPU on time too. That's gonna be quite tight. And I don't know if I want to put it in this PC before swapping, because the Intel shit CPU is in there, and kind of interesting though that you can face tank him for the most part. But this attack, for whatever reason, kinda... Yeah, you can also play this, right? You can just like play behind cover and you don't even have to go into cover, like... And then you have to roll every now and then when he does this like weird arm attack. I don't even know if you have less recoil when you shoot from cover. Plays out of range. So here you can put you out of cover, but it doesn't really matter because he doesn't have enough AoE damage, so... Yeah, I can just go back into cover here. I mean, this is horrendous. I think I have to go slower for the damage bonus, but I'm not even sure I would even get it here, to be honest. I think I'm never close enough for the damage bonus, or am I here? Maybe. Yeah, this boss is really awkward. Like, there's no denying that they kind of fucked up the design on this guy. I don't even know if these are just crits. Honest, might not even be weak spot damage. Just going as close as I can for them. Maybe additional damage. Yeah, regret everything. Yeah, we can't. We have to play around that. Like, this is. Yeah, I can't ignore the attack, however. Sure. He's gonna do it again, right? He always starts far away from you, which is very nice of the game, to be honest. So in single player, the chance of him hitting you right away is almost 0. I wonder if in co-op it's gonna be more of an issue. Yeah, maybe I should dodge those, because if I'm in a reload animation and he does something to follow it up with, I could potentially die very, very quickly. I guess it's random where it starts, okay? Because now he did start on my side. And very cool that you don't lose your reload when you roll. Like, that makes the game, like Remnant 2 also has that, I think. It makes it so much more fun to play. Yeah, you would be canceling your reload the entire fucking time. What am I doing? I have to go into cover. No, I'm not. I don't have to. Okay, next phase. We should take ammo before it starts. Shit. Yeah, unskippable cutscenes, but not a lot of them. Just a few. I think there is a checkpoint for this phase too. I hope there is at least, because I might fuck it up. It's not the most intuitive phase. Okay, where's the ammo? Hey Apricor, and Happy New Year to you too. Thanks for the 90-month resubscription. Thank you very, very much. Hope you had a great Christmas time and New Year celebration. I don't remember what the fuck this guy is doing, to be honest. He's... Oh yeah, I should make the game... is the game too loud? Because it didn't change the volume from Indiana Jones. I wanted to, I forgot. Let me know if the game is too loud and I can turn it down. So I think the game is not that quiet overall. And how are you doing? And this is Outriders. It's an older game, quote unquote. It's one of my favorites, I think, third-person shooters for sure. Like, I really, really like the feel of it. It's not that old, right? It's like maybe 3 years old or something? I would guess 3 years maybe? But it's definitely one of my favorites, and I played it a bunch too, so it's like one of those... Alright, I think I'm taking damage from nothing here. 450, be fine. Oh my god, we're dealing no damage because there is damage drop off in the game. And you can really tell that you're not dealing the damage we should be dealing here. Yeah, this boss for sure, it looks cool, but it's for sure a bit too, it has too much HP for this build. Like, you can really tell this is dragging on and on and on. We should have upgraded the weapon beforehand, that was my bad. Can definitely alleviate some of the issues. Okay, he's gonna spawn ads again. Which is fine. Yeah, it's too loud. Okay, I'm gonna change it. I can't pause the game because of the weird always online shit. Like, it's a bit like a Souls game in that regard. Like, you can never pause the game. It's really stupid, to be honest, but I guess you want to go for headshots, or I don't even know. He's like just so far away, it doesn't even matter, I think. Yeah, so sorry about the loud noises. I really forgot about turning it back down from Indiana Jones, which is, I think, Eurogamer's Game of the Year, and also Graphics of the Year. Do I agree with Graphics of the Year? I don't think so. I don't think I agree with it. I think the path tracing is really cool, but the game does have some areas later on where I think there are technical issues, and it's not clean enough for me to win graphics of the year, to be honest there. And I also think the visual variety, like the intra-biome visual variety later, is not big enough. So I think the art direction later on just, for me personally, doesn't really quite hold up to the standard of Game of the Year. For example, I didn't play Star Wars Outlaws yet, but what I've seen from it seems way more impressive to me visually. Like from an, you know, like I look at it, it's nice. I mean, the start of Indiana Jones is definitely really, really impressive. But later on, I think really also the final level with the sky was like really, really disappointing, to be honest. So yeah, I really can't say I completely disagree either, because like, you know, it's technically really, really nice. Maybe I did have CPU issues. I don't know. The inconsistency in the performance with path tracing might be down to the Intel shit. But it also was like kind of really weird. It's just like such a large gap between the two. So 355. I'm just gonna pick up more ammo so we're safe. Okay. Yeah, and this guy obviously looks a bit like he's from Monster Hunter. And why do I, by the way, was I excited for the game back when it came out? Because it is from the guys who made Painkiller. So they, like, it's People Can Fly. I know the studio, and I think most of the people now work in Witchfire that were originally working on Painkiller. But I think, as far as I remember at least, there's still a few of them there, but you can definitely tell that there's still this bullet storminess, you know, the Painkiller vibes. It's just fun to play, right? It's like the main reason why I enjoy this game and play it so much is because the moment to moment is just really, really fun. And even a few years later, right? Like just like coming back to it like this feels really, really good. What are you doing? Just fucking running in circles. Mr. Infinite HP. Oh my god. Oh, I didn't take any damage. I don't know why, but guess I'm lucky. Yeah, we also can't use our movement skills, which is really unfortunate because that would be 30% more damage, but he's gonna spawn the ads again. And here you can't deal any damage because of the drop-off, right? You can shoot him, but it's like 7 damage, so that's really not worth it. Yeah, he's gonna spawn the 3 flies again, and once they're dead, we're good to go. It's kind of awkward. He comes back, so I could have shot him, but then he spawns the flies, so it's kind of... Oh no, the reload is really risky. Don't kill me now, please. That would be so annoying. That's pretty bad. We didn't die to them, thank god. Oh, I hate those guys. No, I don't hate them. My build is not focused around this weapon, right? So this weapon is just like a trade-off for the boss. It's also not a good weapon. Okay, we did him. Thank god. Yeah, fuck him. Pre-rendered cutscenes, not the biggest fan here. And there's auto loot, which is so cool. You just like can loot everything that dropped easily. I don't know if you die if you also auto loot. I think there is also one there. And I'm gonna lower the volume right away. And you're playing Persona 3 Royal right now. Reloaded, sorry, not Royal. I really like it now that I play it myself. Yeah, it's really a fun game. I think Persona 3 Reloaded, I had a really great time. Also watching Jessica play Astrobot was kind of reminded me of that. I'm not gonna spoil it, but just got reminded of it. And yeah, it also was on the top 10, I think, in the top 10, or maybe honorable mentions, I don't know, of Digital Foundry, because they really like the art style and menus. But I do think I like the visuals and art style, but I think they could have done a better job with the anti-aliasing in the menus. I think especially the 3D character models are completely aliased for no reason. I mean, the game can display them without aliasing, so I don't know what there seems to be some kind of issue in displaying the personas in the game. And I do wonder if they ever fixed that, or if it's still the case. Because I think that was like, everything visually was so nice, but that was like the one thing I thought like, that should be fixed. And so I had no idea. But then again, I played Metaphor. They had no anti-aliasing at all. So, you know, I was like kind of, maybe it's like some kind of porting thing, because I'm pretty sure they ported a lot of stuff from their engine into the Unreal Engine. And the next game they're going to make is hopefully going to be also UE 4/5, and probably 5 instead of their custom engine. Because as much as I like the art style Metaphor, I think it's like very dated in some regards. And I think the honorable mention of Metaphor from Digital Foundry, from the art perspective, you really have to see, right? There's graphics technology, then there is, you know, art style, and then there is like kind of innovation and, you know, like cool niche things or new tech you're using and stuff like that, right? So I think there are these 3 pillars, and I think a lot of people just think about raw tech. And from that perspective, a non-path trace game couldn't have won at all, right? Because path tracing, you know, is like next gen-y, quote unquote. But yeah, I think art style is very, very important too. So giving every game recognition based on those things is very nice. I think they did a good job of having a lot of diversity. And I think a few people were like dissatisfied with a few picks because of that, because it was very minimalistic or like, quote unquote, not great looking games. But they did cool stuff technically, right? So it's kind of, I don't know. Yeah, and it's also a personal list, so they can put in it whatever they want. So I wouldn't, you know, take it too seriously. Okay, now the volume should be hopefully a bit more manageable. So far the designs are lacking. PS5 Royal has some crazy looking motherfuckers. I think the Persona 3 is a more like, you know, down to earth game than Persona 5 Royal. Royal is very like over the top and has a lot of crazy shit. And then you could say Metaphor even goes further than that in some regards, but since it's not like base, I mean, it's different, right? It's kind of hard to compare the two. But I think Persona 3 is still a bit more tame, I think, from a design perspective. I think the dungeon designs are very like boring compared to Persona 5 Royal, right? Visually, it's like not very, they're not that engaging. And yeah, but I think the animations for like your special attacks, right, when your characters do stuff like crit or whatnot, it looks really good. And I think Metaphor, for example, the crits look really bad. So it's kind of weird to see, right, Persona 3, this amazing character animations versus the bit more boring enemy design versus the bad animation sometimes in Metaphor versus the cool enemy design. So it's kind of this trade-off, and I think overall the package though looks really, really nice, and also the addition of ray tracing is very welcome. And in general, I think technically Persona 3 is definitely the strongest game in the series so far, right? Like technically, not artistically. And I just hope one day we're going to see some kind of really good, like next gen version of Persona 4. And maybe Persona 5 at some point when the tech advanced so far that you could say, yeah, it's worth it, right? And Metaphor too, for that matter. Because I think those games definitely have a lot, especially Metaphor has a lot of potential for improvements from my perspective. Right, I mean, the crates do look 20 years old, so. Yeah.
It doesn't end this way, it can't. Is that what your magic fucking fairy video?
Yeah, fuck them. I'm skipping the story, right? I'm just here for the gameplay. I can't skip. Okay, never mind. We're gonna watch this.
No, it's okay. Something happens.
Yeah, I mean, I'm just here for the gameplay. We played the story some other time on stream, so this is just like, you know, gameplay. I can't skip this though for whatever reason. It's I think one of the only unskippable cutscenes in the game. Maybe even the only one.
It's too late. We're not making.
And hey, Ultimate Showdown, welcome back. Hope you're doing well, and a happy new year to you too.
Your people will die.
Junpei feels like a Ryuji copy, or Ryuji being a better copy of Junpei. Yeah, I mean, for sure, Persona has a lot of characters that are inspired by their own characters. So it's like a really, there's a big overlap, right? And sorry for talking about the cutscene. Like I said, I don't give a shit about the story. I would skip it if I could. We already watched the story in full, right? So that's why I'm like, I don't give a shit. I just want to play the game.
What an unexpected.
Yeah, nothing against the cutscenes. I did like the story. I was quite surprised actually by that. I didn't think the story would matter at all to me in this game because the gameplay was so fun. But turns out the story was also kind of nice.
Breakthrough of mine that served us rather well.
And of course I remember you.
Just tell us how it works.
Just because I had a holiday break doesn't mean my brain is gone. I mean, maybe partially, but...
The fungus wasn't always like this. Its DNA was altered. My formula merely tells the fungus against itself. Here.
Yeah, so I really like the Persona characters in general, but I think they maybe some people don't like that they see characters in different versions basically in every Persona game, and then they're like, oh, I like this, the OG better, I like the newer one better. And sometimes it's just down to which game you played first, right? So sometimes it's about your
We're
order.
not planning on staying.
And me personally, I did enjoy all the Persona games I've played so far. And also Metaphor so far. And we're gonna, by the way, is Metaphor cancelled? No, it's not cancelled. It's just a very long game. And we're gonna start it pretty soon. The idea is basically play Metaphor before the 5090 drops and then use the 5090 to play all the games I like postponed. Because of performance reasons, like Horizon Forbidden West, for example. Can I skip? Thank fucking god. Okay, not like I said, the cutscenes are nice, right? Yeah, and the game also has a surprisingly nice area variety. I think the length of the individual areas is so nice. It's just overall a very, very enjoyable experience. Oh, we got our first legendary here. And we got Singularity. I'm thinking, right? Singularity is pretty... Well, not that we can put it in anything anyway, so... Because we're using the one-shot shotgun, we could also go with this one here. And it has a storm whip in it, which is... It's kind of... Oh wait, this is our old one, right? Yeah, so I'm just gonna dismantle all of those. We should probably also pick this one. It's not great, but it has a lot of armor, and I have no idea how they calculate the defenses in this game, so it might be better off doing this. Okay, let's just like destroy all the weapons, dismantle all the weapons, and just socket our gloves at wherever the fuck he is. Is Persona 5 Royal cancelled? No. I still plan on playing it. Especially because we were so far in. At some point, I will just be like, you know, putting it on, and it will just work. Where are you talking to? It will just work, right? It's like, it's a Bethesda game. We're just gonna start it, and it's gonna be finished. No, I definitely plan on doing it, right? All jokes aside, I do plan on finishing Persona 5 Royal. And I will also be playing Persona 4 when they remastered, which is inevitable, so... I mean, the melee cooldown is really ass. Okay, put this one in. I really like the system. I think the very simple upgrade system here, it works really, really nice. Like, it's so... Yeah, it's just so nice, I think. I think in general they did a fantastic job with the base system. I know, you know, when you play thousands of hours, probably at some point you're going to be like, maybe something that is not that great. But just like for the first couple, I would say 100 hours, you really have a lot of stuff you can do in the game. And just the replayability, because of the way the game is designed, is really high. Because there's a lot of streamlined stuff. You can put on this marker here that just tells you where you need to go. There's not a lot of backtracking. You can TP everywhere. It's just like a fun game, I think, to replay too. I must have replayed it 10 times already, right? So I think that's not the case for a lot of games. And also different builds and classes you can try out and stuff like that. And okay, and I'm just like casually doing this. It's not 100% or anything, just like, you know, it's just like to showcase the game. So for people who haven't seen it yet, because we did only stream it a long time ago in German, I just want to show it because it is one of my favorite games for sure. Like, it's not a perfect game, it has a lot of flaws and small things, and some people will dislike the game for it, but I think overall it's one of the most fun games I've played, and I can easily recommend it without feeling bad about that. Checking something here. Okay, sorry, and let's continue. restarted, we probably forgot all about it. And I think I have a very good memory about things as soon as I start playing again, right? If you would ask me now what happened, I could probably tell you like 50%. But once I get into the game, everything will just like pop up naturally in my brain, and it will be like I played it yesterday. Now that's pure copium. The game mechanics are gonna be lost, the details. But I think the story and everything else I do remember mostly, and that's the most important part, right? We might lose a little bit of momentum when it comes to fighting stuff, but we'll definitely be back in the story in no time. And I can also watch a recap before it if I want to. Why is this thing so strong? Oh, it's the wrong gun. Whoops. I was like, why don't we deal any damage? Yeah, I wonder why. I mean, maybe he just has an infinite amount of HP.
Wow. What the hell did that fungus do to you guys? Other than make you
Okay, we're don't worry. This looks like he's strong, but he's really weak. He's gonna die pretty soon. Okay. We're level 21. I can't remember if we had a class point. Yeah, we do. From behind, okay. Classic skill for the Trickster here. Name every single character quickly. Okay. Anne,
don't get
main character.
That's not what we're here for.
Morgana, the cat. Ryuji, the guy with the blonde hair.
The summary execution of everyone who makes
Akira Ishida. The guy, Ryosuke. I'm bad with names. Why did you ask for names? I will remember. The names are the worst part for me. The guy with the samurai sword, right? The guy who was at the, you know, the artist basically. That is spoken by Akira Ishida. Then, you know, the lady with the bike. Yeah, she exists too. And you know, the hacker in the pyramid thing. I'm so bad with names. But I remember how they look, right? I have an image of them in my mind. I just don't know their names. And once I read the name, I know who it is, right? So when we play the game, I'm instantly going to recognize them, right? And know who they're talking about. I just can't tell you the name right now. Because I'm really bad with names. But that's what I mean. When I play the game, it's all going to come back. Maybe. No, probably. I'm more worried about the intricacies of the, you know, the gameplay. Like the way the crit system works, especially because we're gonna have finished Metaphor by that point. And the combat system is a bit different, so I will probably like confuse the two at some point, or I don't even know. Also, the game has a really stupid map system, which is really great at the same time. So once you get used to it, you like it, but before that you hate it. So, and also this is still bugged, so you sometimes you just get like this nonsense of a pathing system that sometimes leads you the completely wrong way. This time I think it worked, but sometimes it just doesn't work. But yeah, if you don't know the game, it's going to be a bit less smooth, but once you get used to it, it's very nice for replayability. I think most of the systems and flaws definitely are more apparent when you play it for the first time. I mean, not apparent, they're more annoying when you play it for the first time. Yeah, you can skip, like I said, you can almost skip every cutscene. And very enjoyable. Did I miss a character? Maybe I did. I don't even know. I don't think I did. Maybe I did. Oh yeah, no, did I? I mean, yeah, there are a tons of side characters, right? Like the guy that goes on TV and does like detective stuff. The teacher. Yeah, I remember all the characters visually. It's really interesting, right? I have a very good recollection of what they look like, but really not at all what their names are. And only once I would read the name, I would instantly recognize it. But like, if you would show me the picture, I would have to fucking guess what the name is. Oh, you can harvest, right? Very nice. Yeah, harvesting, I don't think it's that important in the game, so the game doesn't have a lot of annoying mining or anything. It's just like there is small mining spots, but I do think they're placed in a in a way that they're not annoying. And yeah, see you later. Good luck with the grocery shopping. Oh my god. Yeah, it's been a while. Yeah, the main language I've spoken for the past days is nothing, because during the holidays I'm not. Oh, he has like this weak spot right in front of him, and since we're using ADS, it's kind of random. Yeah, maybe I should also talk about how the game handles HP bars, because you might be wondering why we don't die and why we heal the entire time. The game has a very cool HP system, and I'm going to show it to you quickly. Every class in the game has a unique HP system. I mean healing mechanic. And in this case, the Trickster, I mean, they're kind of similar in a way, but everyone has like their own twist to it. In this case, the healing mechanic of me is just like killing people at close range. I get shield back and I get HP back. And other characters, for example, get only HP back, or they, I mean, I think maybe all the other characters only get HP back. I don't even know. But there's like small differences, right, in the healing system for the characters. And that enables like a very cool balance, to be honest, that a lot of games lack when it comes to survivability. So no matter if you're like out of cover and you have to rush enemies, the game will have some kind of balancing to compensate for that. Because some classes can like snipe from 10 miles away and take no damage, quote unquote. And then you have to go in, right? And you have to survive. And the game definitely gives you, you know, all the things you need to make that happen. So you can see here, right? I'm like getting shit on, but I can like stun the enemies, can make them slow. There's also like, you know, you have tons of mobility. You can roll away. Depending on what skills you use, you can also like do like a dome that slows down time. That looks really cool. I mean, you know, just for fun, I'm going to show it to you so you can see the different skills. These are all of them. And you can combine them in whatever way you want. Oh yes, it's activate. Let me quickly get rid of it. Yeah, just looting with one button is so nice. Let me showcase this one. Okay, it's on cooldown, but you can see the game doesn't pause, so we can just wait for 14 seconds right here. And yeah, I'm gonna showcase this one, the slow trap. I guess you can just see the image, right? And you can see it like slows down enemies and bullets. It's like very, very strong defensively. And I'm just gonna show it because it looks kind of cool, but you have a lot of effects with the Trickster that apply stasis to enemies. Also, like a melee slam here, which is... Oh yeah, right, you can sprint attack. I forgot about that. You can sprint in the game and then attack, and then you will do this ground slam. It's kind of nice. It's also on a low cooldown. You can see the top left, bottom left. You can see the cooldown. And yeah, I'm just gonna showcase this one. Like it's like a dome around you. And when you kill the enemies, you can see they die like in slow motion. Okay, these enemies are, like you can see everything like in slow motion when it comes inside, right? It's like this slow motion glory. It looks a bit more interesting when you do it with humans, to be honest. But yeah, it's a really cool small feature. And this is like a dagger that jumps from enemy to enemy, and the next damage source will deal double damage afterwards, which makes it very good with the shotgun, right? You just like throw this, stun the enemies, you can just like deal double damage here. And the reason why I don't use the dome is because the other one is really good compared to it, I think. The dome is really nice defensively, right? But if you kill enemies in one shot, you get so much HP back that it doesn't even matter. So I'm gonna quickly showcase why that works. So this ability here basically buffs your shots, right? Every class has a version of this. And this one basically just increases your firepower, which is raw DPS, right? Raw damage. And it's for one magazine. And that is already good enough. You know, it's already a good skill. But the reason why it's insane in general is because this perk exists. This one, the Perpetuum Mobile, which says when you kill an enemy with 35% or less ammo remaining in your magazine, when you kill an enemy, then you get full ammo back, and you don't lose your, you know, your twisted rounds. You can have 100% uptime. Yeah, bosses and elite enemies sometimes can get it down, right, because you don't get the kills, but you can almost have 100% uptime, right? So it's like very easy to maintain. And also there's like, if you want to play a shotgun build, it's really important you realize that there are variants of the weapons and you can swap those. There's a normal standard variant and there's a breach variant. And the reason why it's important to notice that is because one variant can be significantly better than the other, depending on what you want to do. And in this case, it's like it does more damage and has more ammo in the magazine, making it way easier to keep the momentum rolling. And yeah, it's just like, I would say the variants are not that well balanced sometimes, but maybe it's just the builds I played. But yeah, for sure you should also swap those. We'll see that, right? When we get new weapons, I'll show you what I do with them. And I think once you realize the game has this cool modification system, which is really useful already early game, it's not like a late game thing, right? And here you can see this is like the worst case scenario. There's an enemy that doesn't die, and it gives you, doesn't give me the ammo back for the double damage. But the good news is he has ads, right? So all you have to do is when you're low on ammo, you just have to kill a normal enemy, right? Like this. And bam, you're full, back full to 6 here. Yeah, once he's low enough, you can just like kill him, right? It's perfectly fine. And the game, by the way, if you whenever we play games, right, that sometimes might die a lot in this game sometimes because there's might just be a difficulty spike every now and then. Just a reminder, if you don't like difficult games, the game has a world tier system where you can also turn off the auto advancement, and you can just select any of these tiers, the difficulties. And I'm just following the main difficulty. You can see here, like, the enemies are stronger, blah, blah, blah. You get better loot, so it's, like, worth going for it. But it can be very difficult sometimes. I'm saying difficult, right? In a way that not a lot of games are. So if you're feeling the game's too hard, because it has, like, these discrete difficulty spikes when you level up in the top core, in the top center, you can see the world tier. And every time that levels up, what's going to happen is there's, like, a difficulty spike. Because your gear is going to get worse, the enemies just level. And the reason, why it's so spiky is because the game at some point expects you to build your character. And it can get really, really, really difficult sometimes to maintain the item levels you need. For example, here my shotguns are now at 3,000, could already have 4,500. And yeah, so if you don't enjoy hard games, you can always turn it down and have it on a consistent difficulty. Which I would honestly not say is the best way to play, because I think the challenge is fun. But you can definitely, sometimes, some areas might just be annoying. And then you can just turn off down the world tier and go back up later. You can always swap it around. I leave it at max because I like challenge, right? But you can really make the game very easy if you want to. Quote unquote very easy. Don't know how easy, but very easy relative to what we're playing. So yeah. And since I have a good build, it might look easy, but depending on your build, if it's ass, it can be very hard. So yeah, I definitely, also this build before I had the build, right? It takes some time until you get the perks. It's random. So yeah, it can start off a bit rougher. Yeah, here you can just like put on your assault rifle if you want to. There are also nice skins you get, right? You get like a lot of fun different abilities. And also I'm looking for a legendary shotgun so I can use the Perpetuum mobile with another skill in conjunction. Also going to be pretty fun. And otherwise, what I really would recommend, and that's my personal recommendation, I think it's definitely a better idea, is to dismantle your items. And the reason why you want to dismantle items is because you get the mods permanently unlocked, right? So later when you have duplicates, you can definitely go and sell them if you want to. But I think the upgrading system is the main source of power. So even if you just get the mats, it's already worth it, to be honest. I think it's a very, very bad idea in the game to sell items unless you really want to buy a specific item at a merchant. Yeah, you can see on the right side, you can see I unlocked the skins permanently. Right, you can see I got a lot of different stuff. And I also got, for whatever reason, new loot here. Guess I didn't press the button. Oh, the golem. The golem is OP as fuck. Yeah, so there are a few OP things in the game, and it's so cool to see they didn't nerf them, to be honest, because I think it's really fun to play with them. Especially when you're alone and you can't get rest. So yeah, this one, the adrenaline, the cooldown reduction is insanely good because you're just going to be able to spam your abilities one last time before you die. But the golem effect is basically like a mega shield, and you get it like every 10 seconds. I don't know if they nerfed this a bit, but the idea is basically once you're low HP and you risk to die, you risk dying, this is going to make it significantly better. So getting the golem already and the adrenaline here is huge. And otherwise, what I like to do is, I go back and I mod my gear, and I mod, the abilities I use, basically. Yeah, and you can see red means I already have it, but it's kind of stupid because this one has it. So yeah, so now we're gonna oh, also like the perseverance shield is also really good. Yeah, so there are a bunch of really good abilities. I think even the perseverance shield might be maybe better on this class because you could take reduced damage while you have an active shield, but they're all great, right? And at the end of the day, what you want to do is you want to have them optimally combined. And I'm going to showcase this quickly because there's always fast travel here. This initiating travel stuff is like server-sided shit. One of the stupid things they're doing is like the server stuff, which adds like a few seconds of additional loading time and login time. And since I'm playing, you know, offline without, quote unquote offline without other people, it's a co-op game, by the way. I think 3 players to 4 maybe. But yeah, it's perfectly playable solo, and I would say it's a very good experience solo, right? I have no idea how it's a multiplayer. Never played it. Did I? I don't remember. Maybe I did play it with Janine at some point. I don't know. But for sure, solo is really fun. Okay, here, this is really important, right? You look at the gear you just got, and this one is good already. I like the stats, but this one has a skill I don't use, right? The cut loose here. And oh, I already changed this one. Never mind. The boots. Those are the ones I talk about. Yeah, I don't use this ability, so this is completely useless. And now you can go here, and you can see the unlocked ones. And the golem and the shield is very, very good, right? It's very, very good. The reason why it's so good, by the way, is because if you die, you have to go back to the checkpoint, and that's going to waste a lot of time. So survivability is really important too, right? You want to have a mix of as much DPS as possible, but also a lot of survivability. And in this case, look for the ability here. The effective range, it's kind of hard to say, right? Do you want to have more damage on the bounce, or do you want to have more range between the bounces? In this case, I'm going to go for more damage. You can go here, select one of the two, and then you go on mod, and there you go, you're modded. And the same you can apply to this weapon, for example. If you're like, oh yeah, I don't like the ashen bullets, for example, you can go here, you can mod it. And then you can, for example, maybe put the tier 3 thing in it if you want to, just for fun, right? And just for fun, you can see the resources. There are a lot of them. So feel free to mod a lot, basically. And here, I'm just going to showcase the variant, the variant swap. And you can see this one here is just like so bad. Look at it. Like, look at the comparison. This one might fire slug rounds. I'm not sure, like it maybe doesn't have pellets anymore, but it deals significantly less damage, assuming you hit all of them. Has less crit multiplier, has a faster reload, but half the clip size, making it almost unusable, and has a bit more stability and range, right? So in this case, for this build, I highly recommend the standard variant, and you should definitely check that. Some weapons, you know, feel amazing or shit, depending on the variant and build you're running, and in this case, the clip size of 3 is unplayable in my opinion. Yeah.
This has gotta be the
What does she do? I don't remember.
the fuck do you?
And they also have a ton of lore. It's really well written too. So if you like story, there's a bunch of that too in the game. And you can also customize your character. I made her look like some kind of Gen Z. No, unfortunately, the customization options for your visuals, like for your character-based visuals, are not that many, and I don't think there is a way to make a character that looks really cool, so I just went with this one this time. Because she just says, I think she sells stuff? I don't even know, I don't care. Yeah, you can also, I think there might be some kind of Diablo-esque gambling, which I think people are complaining about in Path of Exile 2. Oh yeah, and also maybe, maybe you know CoffeeZilla. Because I do always call out, you know, gambling in gacha games, but I don't remember if I ever called out CSGO for the loot box gambling stuff, because I think Valve definitely, as much as I like the company from a, you know, what they did for gaming perspective, they are like also among the children gambling enablers. So I think Valve definitely could, you know, step up and just say, okay, you know what, we got so much money, fuck it, we're gonna, they're private, right? They don't have any obligations towards anyone but themselves. They're not like publicly traded. So I think they could have gone and said, you know what, fuck it, we're gonna we're gonna tune down the gambling or like prevent it, right? So I think it's really, really unfortunate that they're you know, in cahoots with that. And you have known that a long time. I think I never mentioned it, right? Because we're very positive towards like Steam and the ecosystem in general. Even though there is a lot of, you know, downsides, like a very high price of like a high fee, right? 30% cut on sales on digital items, which is pretty high, I think, for such a big platform. And I think, you know, is on Omega high. It's in line with what other people's do, but I think not being on Steam is such a disadvantage that you're kind of being forced to be there. Because a lot of people say, well, then just don't be on Steam, right? But the reason why you're on Steam is because you still make more money of it. And yeah, Steam did a lot of work, but I think it's kind of, I mean, 30% is, they could go down, I think, realistically, maybe 2 or 3%, right? Without it being a big deal. So I think it's not about like going down to 10% or anything. That's, I think, very unrealistic. But, you know, a few percent here and there would just like be, you know, nice for some devs that are maybe on the edge of not being able to sustain themselves. Ooh, you can see the world tier that went up. Now we can't one-shot anymore, which is a big deal. Yeah, not being able to one-shot as easily is very important. I mean, it's very important for the build in general, so. Yeah, these small guys obviously we can, but. Yeah, but we still have this, right? Which I really like. It's such a, the abilities are so fun to use. And you might be, oh, I'm not too much into this fast-paced, you know, dashing, teleporting game style. But you can also play like snipers and slower-paced characters if you want to, right? You can also play like really aggressive, like dash-in characters too. Like, there's so many playstyles, and also for the same classes, you can have multiple playstyles too. And oh, this guy's Omega strong. I just remembered. Yeah, he's like really annoying. And here you can see this build is very bad against him because we will run out of reinforced damage here, and all I can do is basically slowly kill him, which is why later on, once I have enough weapon variety, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna have another auto shotgun for these guys. So it's just gonna be raw DPS. And you can already see this gun is way better against him, even though I'm not spec'd into assault rifles. This is like based on the raw damage values here. I mean, maybe it's not that much better. But this guy's, by the way, really dangerous. He's a real bitch. Yeah, and also this one has singularity on it, which is stupid as fuck, because I knew I was going to use it against these guys, so it's kind of... It doesn't serve any purpose, because you need to kill an enemy for that to be active. Yeah, I think also you can reload your weapon using this ability. Very nice. Okay, we got him. Here you can see you can shoot this. You might know this from Unreal or something, where you shoot like the electric orb from the Tesla gun or whatever it's called. Pulse rifle? Is it Tesla gun or pulse rifle? I can't remember. I think it was pulse rifle. Yeah, this is an automatic shotgun, what I was like talking about. I think these are really good for like elite enemies that have a bit more HP. I'll just go and like pick it up here. Yeah, and the only blue weapons blue items I still use are weapons because I'm too lazy to swap around the other ones. Yeah, but guns are really important that they're on max level. Okay, chests are also not randomized, like where they are. The contents are, but the location isn't. So once you play the game, you will be able to quickly just like, you know, get a lot of items. I would not advise upgrading your items without being able to modify them. Usually the modification, like the golem and the sharpening, is so much better than whatever the other one has. The armor points are not relevant, right? It's really about the synergy. I think there are not a lot of games that enable this level of control over your character synergies, but also kind of are designed around it. So yeah, a lot of games just have like great synergies, which you usually find via build guides or like late game, right, trial and error, stuff like that. But this game really has very obvious synergies that you want to be constantly pushing, right? Like specific skills getting boosted and those things, right? So it's really, really a bit more mandatory. Not mandatory in the way you need it to beat the game, but mandatory if you want to deal damage the game expects you to deal. Like you can tell the game, you're not completely broken even though you have good synergies. But you still feel very powerful, right? The game has like this great balance of like you can die quickly, but you also can kill incredibly efficiently in the game. Yeah, and why am I using ADS again? I hate that this removes your buff. I don't know why they did that, to be honest. Yeah, I could just use no ADS too. I have no idea if the game does this silly thing where your pallet spread is reduced when you aim. I mean, you can tell, obviously it is, so. But I wonder if it's also quicker shots. Yeah, and I don't know if we saw any humanoid enemies yet, because the game also has humanoid enemies, which this area I think does not have just yet, but pretty soon I think we're gonna see them again. I think the enemy variety is really good enough, to be honest. It's like, it's not amazing or anything, but it's very solid and very playable. I do feel like I like transparent circle crosshairs. That's my go-to crosshair, so I'm kind of glad this is the default one. I do feel like it could be a bit less gray though, like a bit more whitish. It might be a tad too transparent for non-ADS gameplay, because you can see here it comes solid white, and here it's a bit more diffuse, which I do not mind usually, but
why do you keep it to yourselves out here?
Here it's maybe a bit too much. I mean, you can tell the game is definitely focused around this. And here, I mean, let's be real, this is a shotgun. Is there a reason why it has almost a 5x zoom on it? I mean 3x, 4x maybe? No, right? I think the FOV here is way too small. Like, they should definitely just leave it like this and scope in normally, like a bit more like maybe Fortnite does it or something. It is too much, right, for a shotgun. For other weapons it makes sense, but in this case I think their like design here is not that great. Oh, and also for people who care about one-to-one sensitivity, you know, since I'm like a bit autistic and I really care about these things very deeply, and they bother me if I can't change them. I mean, you can live with it, but it's not great. So you can change a bunch of settings, really nice, really good menu, to be honest. The mouse aiming sensitivity multiplier to have like a 1-to-1 ratio, like in a lot of modern games, is 1.2 here for whatever reason. And it's consistent between weapons as far as I tested at least. What does that mean even? So your muscle memory is the best, I guess, from a experimental and scientific perspective. If you the distance your crosshair moves to the side is because you might see me do this sometimes when I set up a game, is that I just move my camera in a weird way. I'm gonna explain maybe why I do that quickly. Here I'm gonna use this as a border here, so I'm gonna move it all the way to the right of my screen. And then I measure the distance I have to travel from here to there, right? I'm measuring the distance physically. And then when you zoom in, you want this distance to be consistent between the zooms, right? This should be the same distance, right? It's technically not the same speed. Obviously, this is slower, right? If I would do a 360 here, it would take way longer. But this is what your eyes and muscle memory are best at. It's like consistently moving your crosshair, like it should feel the same, right? It's about the feeling, and this is the only way to get it. And a lot of games have the mistake where they keep the 360, or like they deviate from that. The worst case, in my opinion, is if you make it lower. That's really bad, and it feels horrible because it feels sluggish and slow. And what's also not great if it's the same, because then it feels really fast and uncontrollable. So I'd rather have fast and uncontrollable sometimes than, I mean, because I can use my base mouse here too, right, without problems. But I think in general, it's really, really important to have this option these days. If you make a game and it's a shooter and it has ADS and you're not using one-to-one, I don't know what you're doing. You're making life a living hell for people that care about their muscle memory. Because in some games like Borderlands, for example, it's impossible to make it consistent. Every weapon has a different version of it. It's like every weapon feels different. And on controller, that's fine because you have aim assist and, you know, it's not your aim, but I use raw aim, right? I also disable mouse smoothing, which you can always like look up in mousesensitivity.com. Has great, you know, references for that. So yeah, it's like if you care about those things, I really can tell you, you're losing customers if you're not implementing it correctly. The game must be insanely good for people to, you know, care about your game in the first place if it already doesn't do the basics correctly. So if you make a game and it's a shooter, look up the fucking basics, right? And I gladly, if it's a good game, I gladly help you too by playtesting it, obviously, because we do that a lot with like indie games, right? We play them, and I'm really amazed by some devs, right? Really responding within, you know, 24 hours and fixing and adding options that we asked for. Like, for example, if you're gonna play Ziggurat, all the motion stuff in the game that's there today is there because I made a post about it and got the dev to implement within 24 hours because it immediately understood what I wanted to. So we got a slider and a setting for like motion sway stuff, and it's really great to see. So that's why, you know, I like to sometimes play games early, so there's still a chance if there's active development going on and the devs really care about their game enough to change it. Because even if you don't like it as a dev, right, you should make it so most people will like it. If you have a different, you know, preference, you can put that as a default or whatever, but put an option in, right? In my opinion, the best thing is not to put it as a default unless you have a significant reason to do so. But yeah, overall, I think, you know, it's very, very important to have options for these things if you don't go by what people expect from it. Because I can tell you if a game doesn't support something I really need. For example, why am I not playing Valorant anymore? They removed 5.1 sound on speakers. I hate headphones. I don't hate them, right? But it's just like I have big ears, I guess. And they're not that comfortable over longer periods of time. And I just really dislike wearing them for gaming in general, because it's just like, you know, it's just like, I just like speakers, right? I have a good listening environment, and it's just like nice, right? And just is the way I enjoy games. And they removed 5.1 audio, so now I don't have surround sound anymore because I have a 5.1 system, and so I can't hear people anymore where they are. So I can't play the game anymore, right? I could put on headphones, but I'm not gonna put on headphones because it's not the way I enjoy the games, right? If you remove functionality from a game, or if you're Genshin Impact and you don't add more than 60 FPS, at some point I'm gonna fuck off, because if you're not showing goodwill and you're selling out to Apple in the case, probably right, this is it. The most accepted theory from Genshin Impact is that they sold out to Apple. They sold the performance basically to Apple, which is incredible. I think I've never seen such a dumb move out of pure greed instead of like pure, like, you could say like it's, you know, they're stupid, they don't know any better, right? They, yeah, I had no idea you could push more FPS, I'm too stupid to port the game. But no, all it's pure greed. There's no incompetence other than greed there. Like, it's fucking crazy. It's so nuts, to be honest. Yeah, it is mind-blowing to me that this can even happen these days, right? You can make a game that's amazing, took so much work, and then you can just throw it down the drain within seconds. For me personally, I mean not seconds, right? Like really make it way worse just to sell it to Apple. It's crazy, man. I really want to know what the number is. How much money did they get for this shit? I hope they're gonna pay for it. I mean, I can tell you they already lost money from me, but no idea how much they're gonna lose because of that overall. Because a lot of people don't care that much, right? I do care a lot, though. So yeah, when you gate performance behind platforms for no reason, yeah, I'm gonna probably at some point quit your game if something else goes wrong. And in the case of Genshin Impact, I think it was the FPS unlocker not working anymore, right? I used an FPS unlocker, and once I did that, and then it didn't work, right, for some time. And then I couldn't go back. I couldn't go back from 240 FPS to fucking 60. It was, I mean, also the game has terrible frame pacing in the first place. Shooting his ass here. There are weak spots, but since I'm using a shotgun, I'm not even ADSing. You know, it's like it's more about hitting most of the shots instead of hitting the weak spot for a lot of enemies. Yeah, but depending on your build, it's very important to go for weak spots for sure. Is this the build I would recommend for beginners? I don't remember the other builds good enough, to be honest. I think this one's really primitive if you don't like ADSing, right? If you don't like this, right? If you just want to click, this might be one of the best ones for sure. I don't even know if there are other builds that are this good without ADSing, because you're close enough for it. And even you might say, yeah, but you're not maxing your DPS because you have more spread. And you know what? This looks extremely like the Peacekeeper from from Apex Legends. I just realized. Also the way it like zooms in here a bit. The reason why I think it's not a downside that you're missing pallets is because if you have a lot of enemies and you just want to spray them down, it can be really useful. Sometimes, yeah, it can kill your double damage bonus, but sometimes you just can kill 3-4 enemies at once, so it's like really, really nice. Okay, we got some new weapons. Since I have, since I have the most important one, I'm not acting like this one, the Perpetuum mobile. I'm not looking actively for anything else at the moment, but I'm pretty sure there were a bunch of really good ones, so... Yeah, and also, by the way, you might be misled by the game having tiers on these, right? You might see numeral, Roman numeral 1, 2, 3, and also it's like categorized from left to right. In general, it's not necessary that the tier 2 ones are better than the tier 1 ones, especially when it comes to gear, because it's like these, all the ability enhancements are tier 1, but they're really good sometimes. So you should not be like, oh yeah, it's tier 3, and it's objectively better. Sometimes they're just like more gimmicky or fancy. Sometimes they're objectively better though, so you really have to, look at the individual ones. Some are really upgrades, some are just like side grades or like just different, right? So yeah, you should definitely keep an eye out for everything. And the game, has really nice asset quality, like you can tell it's an Unreal Engine game. It doesn't have a lot of stuttering though, so if you don't like stuttering, I think this game might have a shader compilation step at the start, I'm not sure. But for sure it doesn't feel too bad, right? It's not 100% smooth, but it's also smooth enough, for sure. And performance is kind of hard to say, but because I'm using DLSS performance on a 4090, so 1080p on a 4090, should run well, does run well, so no complaints from my side, but definitely no idea if it's like well optimized. It's 3 years old by now, so if you have a 4000 series card, probably you're fine. I do remember it being slightly underperforming on the 3090 though, so yeah, but they patched it a bunch too, so for sure look it up if you care about performance. I mean, care to a degree that you have to worry it won't run sufficiently well. We can go here. And what the game has too is like these optional objectives that you can do, which are usually just next to the checkpoint where you can do like go into an additional biome and just get a few bit additional XP. And this here, for example, this is a loading screen, right? A masked loading screen, so pressing escape too early will just show the loading screen. But on a faster PC, I wish there was an option just to skip all cutscenes automatically, because you do lose a few seconds, or at least you have to press a button every now and then. I think it's pretty unnecessary. You might be wondering why sometimes I TP even though I don't really need to. It's because I have skills that give me bonus damage when I throw this dagger and when I TP, so yeah, TPing is like a damage boost for me. Yeah, and this build by no means is optimized, right? I'm pretty sure if you go out there and you want to find something completely broken, I have no idea if this would even be close to anything on that list. So this is what I figured out, right? I don't like to net game too much, right? In single player games, you will never find, usually never, not never, you will mostly not find me looking up stuff online, right? Because I'm not competing. If I compete against players, usually I will also limit my looking up online. I will handicap myself, for example, when I play the Bazaar or something, or a Hearthstone or another game. I will handicap myself by, playing builds I figure out myself. And sometimes that can go really well, but if I get lazy, I will look up stuff, right? I mean, I was high legend rank in Hearthstone multiple times with our own build, but also with builds I looked up online. So, it's like, it really depends on how much time I want to invest or how fun the meta at the moment is, or how easy the ideas are to find. And obviously at some point you're going to notice what's meta anyway, right? It's like impossible to play on a high elo ladder and not know after some time what's OP, even if you never played it. So yeah, at some point it's not going to be what you figure out, but it's going to be inspired by what other people's do anyway. So yeah, that's why online games are different than single player games, where you can avoid the exposure to OP-ness a bit easier. I think this is purely bonus. Yeah, the game has a lot of like these Wukong dead ends, but not like the not the dead ends where there's nothing, but there is something always, right? I mean, I would say it's the opposite of Wukong even. It looks a bit like, visually I would say it looks a bit like Wukong from an art style perspective. I mean, yeah, it's very different biomes, but you know, the feel, just because it's also Unreal Engine, is kind of the same. But you know, the way the game handles the level boundaries is way better. You can see, right, I can go really close, but it's never a problem, right? It's just enough to never get in your way. But when you have somewhere where you can go, it's not like in Wukong that it can be completely fucking useless, because usually everything's blocked and then, oh, I can go somewhere. And then it's like, yeah, there's nothing. There's always something here. Right, not always, but 90% of the time. So yeah, really classic secret in the waterfall here. Also, the game has HDR on, so I'm using an HDR to SDR tone mapping, so it might look a bit less optimal for you guys than if it was like a raw SDR capture. So when you play the game, it's going to look probably even on an SDR display for you. It's going to look a bit better. If you have an HDR display, the HDR is really good. I have no idea what the settings are in this game because it's like 15. I don't know. I assume the peak brightness is roughly 1000 from what I can tell. But yeah, it looks good, right? Didn't calibrate it in detail though, because I didn't plan on playing the game. I didn't even know if I was going to finish it again. I just like booted it up after Marvel Rivals because it was like, oh, I still feel like shooting things. So that's nice. Yeah, what are the big releases of 2025? A lot of sword games, according to Video Game Donkey. A lot of swords, but yeah, there is this. I mean, there are a bunch of games I'm looking forward to, but there are also a bunch of games I'm not sure I'm gonna play. I mean, they're like no-brainers, like the new From Software game, Ghost of Tsushima 2. I mean, no, that's gonna come out for PlayStation, so never mind. That's gonna be for another year on PC. In the moment, I was just like, didn't I just play the other game? Yeah, because it came out years ago on PlayStation. That's why. Yeah, so those games no, but there's like this, I think, new Obsidian game. What was it called? It's on Game Pass. Yeah, that looks really nice. And Dragon Age Veilguard also visually got an award from, I guess, for the hair quality from Digital Foundry. But I'm also like, I kind of feel like the game could be fun for me. But yeah, I just don't know. Like, there's a lot of stuff we could play right now, and a lot of stuff coming out, and I'm just trying to, you know, clear up the stuff I definitely want to play before the new stuff I definitely want to play comes out. Yeah, Horizon Forbidden West definitely on my I want to play this ASAP list once the 59 is out, because then hopefully, just hopefully, it's gonna run without frame gen. And maybe the 59, I mean the 6 I think is the reveal. Maybe they're gonna showcase some new version of frame gen or something, or some unexpected new tech that's gonna make it even more interesting. So yeah, no idea. Really looking forward to that. And Nvidia investing heavily into robotics is like, you know, it's like the practical, like physical AI, I guess. You can get like the digital AI, and now you're getting physical AI. And physical AI is going to be very important for AI success, because that's where you can automate a lot of stuff that at the moment, even if AI was smart enough, humans still have to do, right? So huge sector, and Nvidia, you know, leading AI hardware wise, and also a lot of cool software stuff at the moment, and then applying that to robotics, for me, you know, is like the complete package. I think that is what's going to keep Nvidia in the one of the most profitable, like most valuable companies in the near future. Long future, no idea, right? It's really hard to say. But the near future, definitely Nvidia is doing all the right things. And they always did hardware, right? So they're already, you know, robotics is not that far off for them. It's not that they were a pure software company at any point. I mean, they're known for their hardware, right? But they have great software support too. You should never underestimate like how important CUDA and all those things were, or are, for development. And let's be real, like there's no competition this time, so whatever price they want to put on it, they're gonna put on it. So expect a high price. Inflation plus, you know, the general increase in price stuff and availability of resources already pushed it, but now this is competition-free market, and the high-end sector, right? It's competition-free.
Jesus.
And yeah, it's gonna be whatever they want to put a price tag on. And we have it's even bad for us because we have competition. Nvidia is like competing with manufacturing, you know, capacity in AI, and they're making way more money in AI than they're doing on computer graphics. So with the 5090, either they're gonna say fuck it, we don't want the money, or they're gonna say okay, we want to match the AI money, right? So I wonder what they're gonna do, because whatever we're gonna get for the 5090 might seem an astronomical, a really high price, but I assure you they could fuck us over way more. Like if they said fuck it, we're gonna focus on AI, fuck the graphics graphic card consumer market, and they could have the same capacity for way more money. So if they want to match that, you know, we could be fucked, and we couldn't complain because someone else is paying the money for the same, you know, capacity, the same materials, the same chips, right? Not the same chips, but the same chips producing facilities, right? So they could theoretically ask a very, very unreasonable price without it being unreasonable. So, and I think any price we're gonna get is gonna be fair. I think they're not gonna, you should not, they'd be like, you're not entitled to anything, right? Nvidia could say fuck you and never sell you another graphics card and they would be fine. So you should really keep that in mind, right? Nvidia is not trying to fuck you over. If they give you a card that's 2,000 MSRP, that's going to be a good deal, to be honest. Right? A good deal, not for people who can't afford it. A good deal from a, they could have asked way more, right? And if it's like even more, like 3K, then it's getting to the point where they're like, okay, maybe we're not gonna give you too much for free, right? But yeah, there's a point where you can tell it's money is really important. It's always important, but it's really important, or they're gonna still be like, hey, we're playing nice because you guys made us big. We still give you the best product we can deliver for a quote unquote reasonable price. But they could be unreasonable because they don't have to be. Sure, this one. You can see if you already have them, if it's red or not, like the skill under this. Yeah, so I'm not trying to defend the price policy of Nvidia because there's nothing to defend. They can do whatever the fuck they want. And you can't vote with your wallet because people were always vote with your wallet, right? No, doesn't work because your wallet is not relevant to Nvidia. You're not the, you don't make money for them a lot anymore, right? So they're selling your product that you can't buy anywhere else, and you don't have to sell it in the first place anymore. So it's a really unfortunate situation for a consumer, right? I'm not saying it's a great place to be in. I'm just saying it's the reality, right? And I'm pretty sure anyone that bought the 4090 and had the money available and doesn't have any debt or anything else to cover, and it's like, oh yeah, I regret it from a financial perspective. I'm pretty sure nobody bought a 4090 and regretted the performance he's getting. Like, it's so good. It's the best graphics card ever made so far, right? By far. There's nothing else like it. So for sure, I think most people who bought it, including me, I don't regret shit. I'm pretty sure there will be some, but most people probably don't. I've never read a single person online saying like, hey, I bought the 4090, I regret it, because you could resell it for the same price. I mean, now the 5090 is going to come out, but I could still sell my 4090 used for almost original MSRP I bought it for. Like, that's how valuable the graphics card is to people. That they still value even a used graphics card years after release that highly. And I will say, if you don't have a lot of money, you could still do that, right? Sell the old graphics card, buy the new one. And you probably still pay a bit of money, obviously, because it's going to be more expensive. But it's honestly a pretty good deal. So if you basically plan on that, and people are, oh, don't gamble on that, blah, blah, blah. But the reality is, it's very unlikely to not matter, right? Yeah, you might lose one opportunity at some point, but you could probably live for a decade doing that without paying a single additional dime beyond the upfront cost you have once, right? I mean, not a single, right? You still pay more since they're more expensive, but you get the point, right? You can get significant discounts once you have it, if you want to. Which I don't do because I don't sell my PCs. I give it to, my partner. But if I would sell my PC, it would be even much more a no-brainer, right? I would always upgrade every 2 years because I could sell my old PC for so much money. It would be almost free, right? Not free, but you know what I mean. Very, very not expensive compared to what it is to buy a complete system. Yeah, now we have humans, and humans are really fun to kill in this game. Like the dismemberment is really fun. It feels really nice and visceral. And the slow motion which you have with this class, because not every class, as you can see, right, even the like the gib stuff is like floating in the air and stuff like that, which is really cool visually. Yeah, so I have no idea if some people play it as a cover shooter, but I can assure you every single class has a playstyle that is without cover and very viable. At least, you know, for the content I played. There's also an expansion I've never played, and the reason why I didn't play it at the time was because I think I didn't have time for it. But I don't know, maybe at some point I'm gonna play it. Oh, and also the game has some kind of tool, still missing tooltips, which is really unfortunate, because there is an interrupt mechanic in the game where you can like interrupt enemies casting abilities, and this knife here interrupts enemies. It doesn't state that though, which is really unfortunate, because you might not use it because of that, because you think you need an interrupt, but yeah, now I see I reloaded because I fucked up, and now we don't have the damage bonus anymore. Because this big guy here exists. Yeah, you can see our single target is not that great. That is for sure the biggest weakness, but we still have the auto weapon, so you know, can shoot him like this. Still works. Just kill all the other enemies and then kill him. I mean, no, it's actually better to leave one alive and you can heal off him, but yeah, that's why I really value Leech in the game, because it helps you with elites. And we don't have Leech on either one. I mean, skill life Leech, okay. You want weapon life Leech for sure. And you can reroll those stats too if you want to. So if you really care about min-maxing, you can do that too. So the game really gives you a lot of options. And you might say, yeah, but if you can just, you know, click a button and everything's the way you want it, why would you get, you know, why would you go for gear? Why is there like where's the Diablo loot system? And the reason why there is still a need for grinding and getting gear later on is because of the way the system works. Because you can only reroll one of the two modifiers, one of the stats. So you can just like minimize randomness, but you can't completely eliminate it for rarer items. Yeah, so there is still a significant port. For example, if you want to have a legendary weapon with the exact perk you want on it, I mean, legendaries might not be randomized. I mean, maybe an epic weapon with the exact perks you want. The base perk already has to be there, one of them. So yeah, this is like a lower chance to have complete shit items, basically. But if you want to have god tier items and god tier builds later, I'm pretty sure there is still a significant amount of grinding. If you enjoy that, you can do. But definitely for the campaign, you don't need to do that at all, right? At no point I felt like I needed to grind to progress in the game. And also the game that lets you keep XP and items when you die, so you know, dying is also a way of progressing in the game. In, you know, all the good and bad ways. In the way that you can also level the will tier and get weaker by dying. But you can still, you know, undo that, but still, if you don't pay attention, you could just end up
Your alien friend just disappeared.
getting under. This looks really cool with HDR.
We cannot perceive. We need to get out of here. I know a back exit through the caves. I can lead us out to safety.
Get Zahedi out safe. I'm going back out the front door to deal with...
And yeah, I'm also rewatching Squid Game 1 while watching Squid Game 2, and I must really say, I think it's still a great show. I think it's definitely not a mainstream trash show, right? You could think, yeah, it's, you know, just like stupid or anything, but every time I watch it, I'm like, no, it's really good. It's really well made. It's not just a stupid show that is, you know, like brain dead and has no value or anything. It's like, I mean, beyond entertainment. No, I think it's a really cool show. And it still makes me wonder how bad the financial situation of the average Korean person is. Because every show, you might say, yeah, but it's just Squid Game, right? It's just a show. But yeah, but why is every show I've seen about Korea about very, you know, superficial stuff with a lot of debt? Where you have a lot of debt collecting stuff going on, people in the streets, and I don't know, it might just be what Korea is like. And aren't they also considering reintroducing the 6 day week, 6 or 7 even I don't know how many hours per day, days per day, week they work, but they're also thinking about reintroducing, I think 6 or 7 days a week. I can't remember. They already had 6, but yeah, so it really doesn't seem to be working that well for them. All. Yeah, enemies can stun you too. So you can see this build has a lot of CC and survivability, so it's like really easy just to kill most enemies without any additional issues. Yeah, and the added mobility is also really nice. I don't think you really need it if you don't want to activate the additional damage bonus. Dude, this was a misplay. Now I'm like getting fucked here. And now we don't have the additional damage anymore because, like I said, the build is not that great against these major enemy types. And here you see it interrupted him, even though the game doesn't tell you that it interrupts. Okay, and now we're just gonna fuck him. Or he's gonna fuck me, I don't know. Yeah, he fucked me. Yeah, the thing is, these enemies are really strong if you don't have life leech, because you can't keep yourself on high HP. Yeah, but later on, once you have a life leech weapon, it's going to be way easier to fight these guys, because the build is really good at dealing with normal enemies, right? It's like really, that's what it's there for, basically. So all you need is a second gun that's a bit more targeted towards the elite enemies. And also, you can start like dealing with him a bit earlier, then it's not that bad. Yeah, just have to remember that. So at some point he's gonna spawn, and then it just should probably go for him. Okay, there he is. Right, just like every now and then just give him a little tap with bonus damage like this, right? And then you can just go and heal somewhere else. Unless you get body blocked by him and die. This is quite unfortunate. Yeah, now we can just go back, right? Give him another shot here, like this. And then we can just move away. And the radius, they say is jumps in a small radius, but it almost jumps, as you can see, over the entire map, so it's kind of... Yeah, the small radius part, I think, is quite the understatement. Yeah, and that's also the reason why I said, like, the survivability is so important, because you can see the fights are pretty long, and just, like, getting down in solo play and having to redo the checkpoints kind of sucks, right? So... Okay, here we want to go back and refill the weapon. Voila. And then we go back to... Oh yeah, we can shoot him from behind, which is... Yeah, I just remembered. Yeah, you want to TP, and then you want to shoot right away. Because if you want to do this first, and then TP, because that way you can shoot once from behind and get the additional bonus damage. Because if you TP and throw the knife, I think they can turn around in time. Maybe. Let's try it out. Yeah, now we got the time rift, which is basically a very useless ability. No, it's kind of nice. You can make enemies float. You can see it here. It's pretty nice. They tell you what it looks like. The game has a really interesting thing where when you shoot enemy heads, they wobble a lot, which makes full auto weapons kind of weird to use sometimes because they really like they don't die in one shot, right? And you have to hit the head constantly, and they'll go like woo 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 woo. But you get used to it, and when you use shotguns, it doesn't really matter. Just like sometimes when you start the game, it can feel like a bit weird how much the enemy reacts to your shots, which, you know, feels like you're hitting them, but also feels like they're kind of being near in the Matrix. And it's not worth like tracking that, right? It's like, it's so much. I mean, maybe I can show it with the pistol by shooting him here, like, oh, I mean, one pistol shot, but like... Here, well, that was not a good demo. No, it doesn't really work if you can see, right, how he goes back and does that. Kind of. It's so chill if you don't use ADS, because you can see so much more. A real shame that they did the extreme zoom for the ADS stuff. I really hope for the second game, which I hope is coming by the way. I think it's coming. I really hope they go another route there. Oh yeah, we wanted to try something out, right? TP into knife. Yeah, you can see until I... Okay, I'm through. Yeah, I think TPing into knife is not a good idea in general. So like TPing and then knife, you can see he already turned around by the time. So one shot behind him instantly for the bonus damage is nice. And I guess without the slow motion feel, it's kind of hard to get behind them for more than one shot. You know what? I assume this is more for multiplayer in the first place, where you can have aggro from other players and they can like turn their back on you more easily. And yeah, you can see we also stunned him by shooting him from behind, so we could even do more than one shot. So shooting is really good. There's like another demo here, like there's like TPing and then throwing the knife. You can see it's too slow, right? It doesn't really work. You can also, yeah, you can also, oh, there's no pause, shit. You can also get a skill that slows after TPing. Can be really nice. And we also didn't update our gear. We have not enough armor at the moment. At some point, should go back and get it. And the reason why the knife is so good, as you can see, right, it adds a bunch of CC. Yeah, some weapons, some enemies obviously take more damage than others. Like this guy was an elite too, but the other guy was like a very important elite, I guess. So he had more HP. Yeah, and the biome diversity is really nice. I mean, this jungle, yeah, it's a jungle, right? But before that, you had like a bunch of different locations already, and it's like, yeah, it looks a bit like Remnant 2 too, right? Like Remnant 2, Wukong, all both have like the UE5 jungle vibes. But I think it still looks fine, right? But it does have this very specific Unreal look to it. But not in a bad way, I think in a good way. And it doesn't use nanite or any ray tracing as far as I'm aware of either, so it's just like it was a bit, you know, I think it might even have been still a PlayStation 5 crossover game. Was it cross-gen? I don't know. Oh yeah, Year of the Switch 2. I mean, you know, people, a lot of content creators are always like, Switch 2 is coming out in half a year, blah blah blah. And I don't know, but like for me the likelihood of Switch dropping this year, and I have no idea, right? I have no sources, I have no like concrete information, is like almost 90%. Just like from intuition, I think this must be the year of the next Switch iteration. Just like intuitively. And I mean, I could be completely wrong, but it would feel so weird to have another year only with the Switch. And also one of the reasons why I think that is the case is because of the way Nintendo didn't release much for the Switch last year, relatively to what they usually do. And they haven't announced any big releases and any hype, right? So there doesn't seem to be... Whatever the Switch 2 is going to do, is going to have a launch game that's going to be fucking insane. That's what I feel. It doesn't need it, but I feel like they're really, really trying to make it sure. And the fact they didn't go for a Christmas release shows me that they care, to some degree. Because they could have just said, fuck it, we're going to release it before Christmas. But they know they're going to sell it no matter if it's going to be Christmas or not. So their idea is probably to sell a bunch of stuff early before Christmas and then hopefully get enough back in stock so the next Christmas is going to be okay. But honestly, if the Switch 2 doesn't sell out, That would really be surprising to me. Like they must have such a huge stock for that to happen. Yeah, so if you're banking on getting a Switch 2, I would definitely try to get it quickly. Unless there is an unsurprising amount of disinterest in the console, which I couldn't imagine. And it's like complete garbage. Like either it's complete garbage and then people would probably buy it, or the stock is so insanely high that nobody could ever, it couldn't sell out, right? But yeah, likelihood of not the Switch 2 not selling out seems pretty low for me. And all that is without any data, just out of my ass, right? Zero data. Oh, this one has perpetual mobility on it too. We really need to get that shitty shotgun out of the way though. Yeah, one of the problems the game has is that during these sections here, you can't really I think I damaged the mega ass. Like really, what happened? Whoa, our damage is really bad now. You don't have the opportunity to maybe just level mid here. I don't know. You don't have the opportunity to upgrade your weapons like just like that. So, oh, it's the auto shotgun. I just wanted. Oh, I'm stupid. It was like tap firing, so I didn't notice. Yeah, this one is the same. We have a bad weapon, but it still should be good enough. Now we don't have the buff, so it's gonna be ass. Yeah. Yeah, so you can't really go back here, right? There's no fast travel right now, but they always put a fast travel at the end of the section. So it doesn't really interrupt the game flow, but it can lead to situations where you're a bit weaker and you can't really change it too much. Yeah, so here, for example, I mean, you can by going back, right? But yeah, I would like to go back because I feel like we could get significantly more damage and armor if we went back now. So the next time we can fast travel, I hope it's gonna work out. I shouldn't have picked it up. Wait, where am I? Wait, what? This is a completely different biome. Is it though? Wait, did I go here before? That was on complete autopilot talking about the Switch. Wait, what? Yeah, the tracking is kind of stupid sometimes because we can't really track the mission here, I think. Oh no, we can. Whoops. Never mind. Sometimes he doesn't want to track it. I don't know why, but in this case, my bad. There is a flag down here. I will quickly upgrade myself and then we can go back. Yeah, a lot of holds to do things in the game, right? Like the console style thing. But it's not bad. It's like, it's short enough for me, and I got used to it at some point. It's stupid on PC, but it's like, so many games do it these days that I'm just like, I shrug it off and hope it will change one day. Yeah, because I can click without holding the button, right? Like and the UI is a bit No Man's Sky. At least it doesn't move around like in Destiny when you are on mouse and keyboard. It's horrible. It's such a console thing. For console is so okay, it's so good, but for anything else it's like really, really bad. Okay, shotgun here. Do we have a better one? Yes. The answer is yes. Here we could go with this one just for fun. Here I'm only gonna go for these. Here, the AoE though. Okay, very nice. Now it's really important to first of all dismantle them, so we get a lot of new perks. Really important ones among those. And then we're gonna go and mod our gear. Yeah, you can see it was modded here, which is a really nice touch, to be honest. This one's pretty good still. I mean, melee kills, right? We don't do that at all. Here, I would have loved if they added an opportunity to see right away which one you're missing. This one is really important. I would just like to see that we already have it, like just an icon right here. without hovering over it every single time. Because basically what we're looking for is the ones we're missing. For example, this one has terrible stats for us, like assault rifle. And here we want to get the really cool stuff, like for example, here this one. Pretty good. Toxic. Okay. Shield one. I think it's a tier 1. No, it is. No. It has to be tier 2. Yeah, the cooldown reduction by 5 seconds is also really nice, right? 12% damage, also really good. Yeah, we don't have the shield because we didn't dismantle it yet. Yeah, this one's really good too. Okay. And obviously we almost forgot about this one. So always look at the variant. This is not the breach one, I already saw that. And here, there's only one choice for our build. The thing is, as soon as we get epic weapons, it's going to be more fun because we get maybe this one plus a cool other effect. Because I think the effect is not that fun, because there are really cool ones like chains coming out, swords from the sky, sandstorms, right? Like really cool stuff. And it's not RNG based, it's all on a cooldown, so it's like really well balanced too. But at the same time, it's really only available once we have the other one installed. So yeah, this makes the build a bit less, I guess, you know, there's less variety in the items for this build because you need the one skill. But overall, I think it's still very, very fun to play. Can't go here just yet. Okay. Why can't I track this one? No idea. Yeah, obviously the game sometimes reuses biomes for same missions, which is not bad, to be honest. Like I said, reusing levels optionally in a moderate fashion that are fun to navigate in the first place, perfectly fine. Although I don't even know if this is the case here, like if this is a reused encounter or not. And that's where the system is kind of ass, the map. Because now I don't know, oh yeah, there it is, where exactly it is. Because the map, you might look at it and you're like, ah, you can see everything, right? Nope. You can never see where exactly you are. You just know what is in the area and what areas are adjacent. But the only way to really navigate is by via the mini-map here, and that also doesn't show terrain, so it's kind of... Yeah, it's kind of scuffed, but at the same time, once you have the quest and you can track it, you can just like ping the thing. I've quick loot, I've, you know, pick up, scroll up on my mouse, and down is just to navigate. It's just like, can always easily access this one. Because I don't swap weapons with my mouse, I use dedicated keys. Yeah, no idea how that works on console, but on mouse and key, since everything's like rebindable, it's really easy to, you know, get something that works for you. And really, as you can see, really nice visuals still. I think the game, I mean, it's not that old, right? Yeah, it doesn't hold up perfectly compared to modern nanite games, maybe, right? Shit, I did it on the wrong one. Fuck me. Also, when you sprint, it takes, I think, a bit longer. I mean, maybe not. I don't know why it took so long right now to shoot it. Yeah, maybe we should also try to go for life each at some point. Okay, now we're like fully loaded. Just waiting for that. Yeah, and I think this type of gameplay, like the this specific build with the knife, I think I've never seen another game do it like this. I think it's very unique. Like, the combinations of TP, slow motion effects and everything. I really don't think another game does it exactly like this. If you play Borderlands, it's like... I think Borderlands' strength is basically that it has more, like, fun, really, you know, like... It has this randomness to the items, and it feels like... It's like less designed in a way, right? You do your things in a... I mean, I guess you do have your builds, but yeah, the weapons just like feel very, very different. And in this game, the weapon variety is not that great, but you can, you know, you have like very specific builds that can feel like very different, but they feel a bit more designed, right? In Borderlands, it feels like you're finding like these crazy combinations because of passives on items. And here you have like crazy combinations because of the way the game was designed in the first place. So it's like they intended this to be like that, right? Like the skill works exactly like it should, and it's also you have way more skills than in Borderlands, so it like really changes the way you play the game a bit more in a streamlined fashion, which I think I really like. I think I love Borderlands, right? Also one of my favorite games, for sure. But this one for sure is different enough that I would say this is not a Borderlands ripoff by any means, right? I think this game doesn't rip off any other game, to be honest. I think this game is just fun. Yeah, getting your cooldowns back on low HP is so good, though, and I don't think we have it at the moment. Yeah, but having the knife upgraded is the most important part of this build, I think. Some survivability on low HP, but just a good knife will really help. Do we have a skill point because I'm talking so much? No, we don't. Yeah, I mean, we're already level 22, so the progression definitely becomes slower, like exponentially, but not in a way that it ever feels like it takes too long, to be honest. Kitty Yum Yum is back. VIO? Was meinst du? Also 4 Uhr, ja. Du kannst das sogar so machen, dass es dein Bildschirm sieht und dir in Echtzeit hilft beim Coden und sowas. Nee, aber jetzt mit Pro. Nee, aber was ich... Ja, bald kommt ja eh die neue Version, die noch besser ist. Aha. Mhm. Mhm. Nee, aber was du machen kannst, ist, dass er deinen Bildschirm sieht und echt so seinen Code analysiert. Mhm. 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 What the... Ich weiß, was du meinst, ja. What the fuck am I doing? Do I have to go through the waterfall? I don't know. Maybe I should have tracked that mission.
Tiago, I hear you gathered the sap of some tree to help Skurlock make his antidote.
Yeah, the funny thing is that some of the cutscenes had really wonky animations in them, and you can then lower the sway later. But to this day, the game really has some like relics of like things you knew were really bad. Like when you killed the guy, and then it looked at your character afterwards, it did at the start it looked like this. It did this awkward zoom, like really slowly into your face. It was so weird, and they tried to fix it, but for whatever reason, they seem to have a limit on their camera maximum, like transitioning speed. I think one of the weakest parts of the game definitely is the camera work in the cutscenes. They don't seem to have someone that is very good at I forgot what the name is exactly. Cinematography? Is that the name? Yeah, I think they don't have a good guy for that, for sure. They need someone with a bit of a better eye, because the game itself looks really nice, but the cutscenes can look really nice, but sometimes they really have the camera is kind of awkward, right? The perspectives sometimes are nice, but the camera work is very basic. And maybe that's because they didn't have the money for it, because as Digital Foundry said nicely in their current video about their graphics of the year, cutscenes are all about money. The more money you have, the better your cutscenes. is all about how much talent can you buy, how many you know, motion capturing can you do. You know, it's a lot of money. So cutscenes are always an arms race. Visuals in general, but cutscenes especially so. Yeah, also I'm like really considering playing the Final Fantasy games at some point. I mean, so many fun games. It's crazy, right? This game I played so many times. It's still one of the most fun games. And it's like it's really hard to kind of only play new stuff if the old stuff is so good and holds up so well. It's like this game is extremely relaxing to play. It's like such a chill game. And I just wanted to show it, right? It's not a game. If I usually stream these games once, right, when they release. Since we already did that. But the only reason I'm really showcasing it again is because we did it in German only. So I really wanted just to, you know, show the gameplay basically, because I think that is the star of the game. It has a really cool story if you care about that. It's also co-op, right, from start to finish. With you know, everyone has their own character and progression and everything, so probably a fantastic co-op experience too. And it's just like, I think one of the also a bit I don't think it's underrated in a way that, you know, not a lot of people know about it. I think it's more underrated from a perspective that not a lot of people appreciate it for what it is enough. Because it doesn't really try to be something else than it is, right? It is exactly the game you're seeing here, and unless you expect a game that you're going to play for 1,000 hours and then it maybe falls apart at some points, because there is a lot of long-term stuff in the game, especially if you buy the expansion. But I'm not sure if that's worth getting, to be honest. I'm not really sure how much value there really is in that, right? But in that regard, I still think it's one of my favorite games, right? And I played so many games, so that definitely is for me like a very high praise, irrespective of the imperfections it has. This is a moment to moment is very unique and fun. It's just satisfying. What can I say? I do wish they had a better ADS implementation, that I could ADS instead of just like left clicking hipfire. But it's like the zoom is, just look at this, it's fucking crazy. It works, right? The first time I played it entirely with zooming, so you can definitely play it like that, but it is way more fun if you don't ADS with the shotgun. With other weapons it's fine, right? Because you're just like, you're trying to shoot a specific spot anyway. But
You gathered this sap for Skurlock's antidote, even knowing the other ingredients.
I either brought the sap, or I fought and killed for gang. I believe it to be.
yeah, every now and then I do still watch Defran play the FPS, right? It's like, it's always fun to watch him because he's a very entertaining personality. It's just like, you know, I don't know, I just like vibe with how he is. And today he played Marvel Rivals again because he really enjoys the game too, and he played they Smurf because their mains have too long matchmaking times, and he was playing Jeff, and he just like didn't shoot at enemies, didn't heal, he just evaded by going into the shark mode, and like where you dive in the, you know, walls and the ground, and they couldn't kill him. They just couldn't hit him. It was so funny. Oh, it was so good. And then he also smurfed with Sinatra, which, you know, has like this unfortunate event with you know, his girlfriend, the allegations, blah blah blah, happened to him, and to this day, you know, I don't have insider information, but from the outside, from the data we got, you know, and the legal cases that have been made, there being none, even after, you know, them being checked. I think, you know, he had a really unfortunate end of career, because I think I consider him one of the best FPS players for sure. He was amazing in Valorant, was MVP in Overwatch. It's a real shame. Oh, did I? Wait, what? Did I not pick it up? Oh shit, I must have left one here. Yeah, I must have left one tree. That's on me. Yeah, also you can hear the ambient sound is really nice. The game doesn't constantly blast you with music either. Yeah, so I think just from a skill perspective, Sinatra, really good player, definitely. And also he goes back to the front back in the day. So I've been following for a long time, and as long as there is no legal case and the evidence is not more drastic, I think there is no reason for me or anyone else actually. I think that is not personally involved and knows more to cancel people in my opinion, right? It's kind of, I mean, like I said, everyone can do whatever they want, but I kind of dislike what happened there a lot, because I think it really is a very, and I mean, he still is a big streamer, right? So he's not off badly or anything. Just like his esports career being terminated in such a way, it kind of feels stupid. Irrespective of what happens, I think people having like public figures having like this repercussion that people that have private issues don't have is kind of stupid, right? You can do horrible things in real life. If you're not a public person, you might get away like almost for free, but then we like we overreact to people doing nothing where there's no real evidence, and cancel them and destroy their lives for almost nothing, right? So I think there's like this discrepancy between that, and most people just feel safe because they're not in that position, right? And I'm pretty sure anyone that at the end of the day, I wanted people to get, I don't care too much about that, but in general I think people should get what they deserve, right? And I don't mean in a bad way, because I believe in determinism, so I don't think anyone should be punished for no reason, right? But they should maybe have actions should have like consequences, obviously. But I don't think if there is no evidence there should be any action, right? Like, it's kind of stupid. I think if the legal system was built around the idea of people, I mean the legal system is already shit enough, right? It's like very flawed and has a lot of issues. But I think the new online legal system where you just like call someone out for something they might or might not have done, and the fact that you call them out and is already enough to cancel them is really sad. Right? It's like, and people usually don't care because they're, oh yeah, he's like, I didn't like that guy anyway, he's successful in something I like. And like haters are so quick to just jump the bandwagon, and then there's pressure on the like companies for they just can't risk it, right? Even if the person is innocent, usually by the time that's proven, it's already too late, because the company can't just risk their entire like well-being for one person. Yeah, really, that cancel culture is a huge deal.
Don't think I'll be
And I think it's really sad to see some talents just like also Rick and Morty, for example. I don't know if he did anything, right? But there is no legal precedent, and it's like really annoying. Because I really like Rick and Morty, but it's always even it always affects you, right? You always think about it, because before there was no doubt that you didn't think about it, like for most people, right? You don't think about it, and now there's always this, maybe he did something, right? We don't know. Legal case said no, but in that case, obviously I say for me it's a no, right? I'm like, yeah, it doesn't matter to me, but I'm pretty sure for a lot of people it does still matter, and it's always there in your head, right? It's so easy just to get your reputation quote unquote ruined, and not everyone's going to have a Johnny Depp or a case, right, where they have a bunch of money and they're just going to prove a point, which is why I think a lot of people celebrated Johnny Depp and Amber, like the Johnny Depp Amber Heard case as an example of someone just trying to fuck you over and finally someone doing something about it. Because there are a lot of cases where it's very important to listen to the victim, right? You always want to listen to him in the first place, right? Even if it's bullshit, you want to listen, because usually someone that does that probably needs some help. Either they're a piece of shit and need help and getting better at not being a piece of shit, or they're like really in need of help, and you should help them. That's why you should always listen to a victim, but you should never instantly attack the attacker, right? In the case where it's not obvious. If someone is with a knife, right, and you help them, you help another person defend against that, obviously there's an aggressor and there's direct evidence, right? But in a case where you have no evidence, instantly jumping board and just like randomly shitting on people, terrible idea. I think it's really not a good idea. You should always listen to the, obviously you should always lend an ear to the problem in the first place, and then you should look at the evidence, you know, let the people who can actually do something decide. And sometimes there is just good evidence, right? For example, there, I just like how IGN gave Beast Games a 2 out of 10. I think that is a joke, to be honest, right? Like the show is not good by any means, right? It's not an amazing show or anything, but it's also not bad. It's not a 2 out of 10, right? You might hate Mr. Beast, you might dislike this type of show, but for what it is an okay show. I would probably give it like maybe a 4 or 5 out of 10, right? Or maybe even a 6 or a 7, depending on what you like. Yeah, but definitely not a 2. But the reason why that's so funny to me is because there is one guy in the show that really got a lot of hate. And when you watch the show, right, you watch the show and this guy, I mean, I believe in terminus, so nobody's really accountable for their actions in the first place. So, you know, for me, you know, no hate or anything directly against the person anyway. But the thing is, it really, the way, and that's why I'm saying it, the way they showed this person act in the show is one of the most unlikable moments I think of human history I've ever seen, like human portraying that I've ever seen. I could watch a show about Hitler and I would have more sympathy for Hitler than this guy. I don't mean that he did something worse than Hitler, right? Obviously not. But I just think like the way they portrayed him in the show, and I don't know if he just was like that, makes him look so unlikable. It's crazy. Like, and if you've seen the show, you know probably who I mean. So it's like really interesting how, you know, a few moments and maybe camera work, right? We don't know, right? Maybe they told him, you don't even know, right? There might be some kind of, you know, usually not in this case because it's like kind of risky to do because it comes out later and there was a script and people were told to do X, Y, Z, right? This is like, it is reality TV. But at the end of the day, we never know, right? There could be some kind of camera work. They could like misrepresent what he really did. Yeah, so them showing him as basically like some kind of sociopath could have been completely false. But it definitely was a person where I was like, you know what, if this person gets shit on online, even if they misportrayed him, it feels like kind of justified, right? Even though we know there could be, you know, I know you shouldn't do it, right? This is why I also don't do it. But I think he does need some feedback that his behavior for outsiders does seem weird, right? Not to make him feel bad necessarily, but maybe to make him reflect on why you shouldn't behave like a piece of shit, right? So yeah, it was really funny. But it's still the show getting a 2 out of 10 from IGN. It's like, you know, it's like you can tell a hater wrote it, like the review for sure. And that's never what should be the case. It should always be a positively, not positive, a neutral to positive person. You don't want to read reviews of people hating something. You can find a hater for every game. I could find you a guy that gives Elden Ring a 1 out of 10, right? Easily. I could find you a guy that honestly thinks it too, right? Believes it. Not to shit on the game, but that really dislikes the game to a degree to give it a 1 out of 10. And that's, as a big review site like IGN, I think you kind of you owe it to a show or a game to try to be as, you know, fair and honest to the game as possible, or show. In this case, I think they really didn't do that show any justice, because it's not a great show, but it's also not terrible. It's not a 2 out of 10 for sure for the average person. I mean, there's a reason why a lot of people watch Mr. Beast videos, even though a lot of people hate him, right? Like, most, honestly, I know that some people really don't like him, but a lot of haters in this case are just like very jealous, right? Because he's super rich and you know, rich, famous, successful. And a lot of people just like instantly when they see that, just they go on the hate train and just like fucking shit on him, right? Even if he didn't do anything, so yeah. People are just like so jealous sometimes. I mean, am I a big Mr. Beast fan? No, right? I think his videos are sometimes entertaining, sometimes they're boring, but they definitely are unique in a way, right? They're unique enough to make it interesting, and even if it's just because I'm throwing money at things, right? I mean, you know what? Yeah, a lot of people could have done that, but the fact that he's doing it and there's not a lot of competition doing it, you know, it makes the videos unique. I'm not saying it takes a lot of skill or like creativity to do that, but if you're the first, right? So, and I think he just like fits the this role pretty nicely. And you know, everyone that's self-made by the algorithm of YouTube, I mean, no, self-made by skill and work. No, I think he really deserves the success, right? Like he did it in himself, right? Yeah, he had YouTube algorithms backing him up and everything, but still, it's not like someone gave him the money. Was denn Muffin? Eine gute Frage. Was hast du Lust? Wie spät ist es dann? Wir wollten ja erst morgen gehen, oder? Look at this ambience here. You can also change the FOV mega high, by the way, like I can show you. This is 110 horizontal FOV, 16:9 base aspect ratio. Stupid that you have to also say all that, but here it is. And you can still go way higher. That's crazy, man. Yeah, the FOV slider really goes hard. The sound is really nice, man. Like they really did a great job there. Oh, was für eine Richtung hättest du Lust? Eine Pizza, bisschen Burger, Indisch. Würziges. Was meinst du damit? Hm? Hm. Mhm. 8 Restaurant links.
Okay.
Hmm? Oh, there he is. Wait, he doesn't have an icon. Oh, that's why I can't see him. Ja, some of the game is a bit bugged. Okay, das ist natürlich komisch, dass du das wenig weißt. You can also customize your truck, you know, which is nice, I guess. I mean, I did that the first times I played the game, right? But now I'm like, you know, I played this so many times. I don't really need to. What color am I changing? Oh, of this car. Oh yeah, I can scroll. Yeah, so you can customize it too if you want to, but you know, like this, for me, this is not that interesting. Anymore. It was, you know, it's fun for the first couple of times, I guess. It's slow though, I don't know why. Yeah, and you can also customize your banner, blah blah blah. You know, it's just like you have emotes too. I mean, yeah, Fortnite. Just before, I mean, it has co-op, right? So I guess there is at least a world where you wanna use it, I guess. No better shotgun here. But a significantly better helmet. Yeah, and the thing is, right, the longer the game goes, the less often you have to do this. But at the start, you do have to, I mean, the start, right, in the mid game, you do have to quite often upgrade your stuff and make sure it works. You know what, I think we're gonna go with chains. Chains are really nice, I think, against... You can calculate it, right? The DPS. Here you can see like per 4,200. 36,000, roughly the same. I think they all have roughly the same. Yeah, this one has less, right? Yeah. I kind of like it. Because it's less burst, right? It's damage over time. This one's at 1. So here you have to wait 3 seconds. Here this goes instantly. But since we're using it against big enemies, I think this is kind of nice. Okay, gun shield. So what I do, I always take the ones I think I need, right? The ones I don't have duplicates of. I always go first there. Make sure I have them. I forgot to disassemble. Ich weiß nicht, Meckes oder? Ich weiß nicht, eine Idee. Okay, because now we can get the shield. Echt? Letztes Mal hat das auch geklappt, obwohl es so aussah. Just think the shield, oh, the armor increase is also really good from rolling. Oh, this one's, alright, I guess we already upgraded that one, right? Yeah, I always want to have these two, and the rest is, I think, kind of optional. Is there another one that was amazing? I don't remember. Gesundheit. And these, by the way, are neutral. They are available to all classes. Like, these are specific to your class, obviously, because they're skill specific. And these are just like general upgrades. Yeah, so we have this one and we have this one. Yeah, I think just like, you know, shields are really good. I don't remember if there was another one that gives you like a fuck ton of armor or some shit. But yeah, just having those, kind of nice. Okay, we should make sure we have these additional ones though. Like this one is very important. Yeah. And yeah, here I think the only thing we care about is, well, I guess if we have it, it's grayed out. Oh no, this is the one we already have here. So this gives us additional skill damage, which is not as important as this one, I think. And the bounces. I think the number of bounces and the additional damage are important. The skill, it already has a huge effective range. And the mark duration is irrelevant. And the additional damage is very insignificant too compared to this one, because we're going to shoot him anyway. Because we can't one-shot him. So, yeah. Okay, we have everything we need here. And then we can just go for this one, for example, like 12% more damage. It's kind of nice. Okay, and where is he? Why does he not have the marker here? I think that might have been the bug the entire time, to be honest. it might have been the exact same bug. This is really cool, also like the map revealing itself. I mean, it's a bit misleading. If you scroll like here, it could imagine it going on forever, but it does kind of skip at the end, so kind of a bit baity, but still a nice idea. And also the way, like this is like a map and a quest log combined. I really do think that is a very, very nice way to do it, to be honest. Because you can instantly see what is available, and then you can just go there, and once you're there, all you have to do is basically open the map again. Oh, look, different time of day too, I think. We were here. But were we? I don't know. Also procedurally generated clouds here, volumetrics. Also geht's doch erst mit dem Stern? Chicken Nuggets? Yeah. And cheese. Also wird halt ein Schoko mit. Nee, nur habe ich nie gesagt. Ja, ist ja doof, aber was soll man machen? Das ist mhm. Mhm. Right. No, on the map, you go to the map. Mit Barbecue. Okay, and then you can see there is an objective here, and you don't have to open the quest log at all, which is honestly, in my opinion, always an achievement. If you can get a game to have quests that are optional and you know,
Well, this should be interesting.
bigger map. I mean, bigger linear map in this case, but still bigger map with, you know, different areas. And the player doesn't have to go into a quest log every single time. That's the ideal world, right? And also, you don't play the game by looking at the minimap, but you can use this nice tracking system here, which I forgot to turn on. So yeah, I wish they would auto-track the newest quest, because what usually happens is the quest is really close to you. You can still go here and just like track it like this. Ich glaube normale. Ketchup. Yeah, really nice audio, and I think the time of day here changed. I'm not quite sure, but I think this might be a different time of day than the last time. So I think the game world in general has like a day-night cycle based on the story progression. And when you come back later, the biomes are gonna look different, which is a really nice touch. And obviously only works because of non-pre-baked lighting. Yeah. that is the big advantage of dynamic lighting, which a lot of people seem to forget about. That when you have a game like Marvel Rivals and there's destructible environment, you can't pre-bake the lighting. It's like people complaining about the game not using the same stuff as Overwatch, while it's a completely different game, right? Kann man machen, ja? Also gibt man den dann ab? These enemy types are so funny. Yeah, and really the builds are very diverse. So if this is not your playstyle, you can really also play like sniper rifles, long range farming, right? There's so many different builds you can do, and the classes are really different from a feeling perspective. Mm-hmm. Neun Nuggets and Cheeseburger. Pommes. Und Schokolade. Ja, oder? Also das hast du gerade gesagt. Mhm. Yeah, here is really important with the build that you don't empty your weapon completely on him and reload like this. Keep up damage. This was a mistake. I should have. Oh no, he does have infinitely spawning ads, which is a really nice touch. I think we got him. Yeah, he has a lot of armor, so you want to shoot his head, but this is so cool. When you get this zoom in effect sometimes, I don't know what, if you're like against the wall and you just shoot with the gun. I don't know, it feels really nice shooting things like this. I don't know what it is. I wonder if there would be a world where you could make an FPS that has like this type of aiming as a default. There's like a floating gun like in the middle. It's weirdly compelling. Yeah, and also they spawn this fast travel point at the end, which really, really helps, in my opinion. Okay, there's still an entire biome over here. And that's where the game, like I already mentioned, has a bit of an issue. It is almost impossible to tell where this is, because the map, like I said, you can't see where you are for whatever reason. This is like, I guess it's not even one-to-one, it's just like a rough sketch. And you can't target this area. The way you would fix this is by just allowing the player to target this thing here and then get the tracker. I know it's back here, and the reason why I know that is because I played the game a bunch of times, right? I know it's over here. And the fact that I remember it also, you know, shows you that you need to remember some things if you want to have a good fluid playthrough. Otherwise, you have to find this spot, which I guess is not great because you don't have a lot of reasons for exploration in the game, right? Exploring the game usually is very linear per area, and it's not like you go somewhere personally. I'm gonna try to demonstrate this shotgun thing for fun. Look at this, I can't here, so. Yeah, I need a wall that's a bit higher. Oh yeah, also really stupid, unfortunately, is the fact that this skill here, you might be, why are you using this skill, right? What is, you get some kind of, where's my, oops. But why are you using the, where is it? I'm blind. Must have been among those. Here, the emergency stance, right? Why are you using this one? What's good about it? What's this golem, right? Golem is never explained here, but wait, do they have details for it? No, right, they don't. That's really stupid because once you play the class that has the golem skill, you know what it does. And once you know what golem does, you're like, this is insane, right? But you need to play the class to get the tooltip for this. Yeah. If you don't know what golem is, it's like a hyper armor thing from another class that is insanely powerful, and you always want to have this. And yeah, it's kind of unfortunate they don't tell you what it is on this class, so you won't know that it's amazing maybe. So yeah, it's kind of unfortunate that the game has one of the best defensive abilities, and you might not know that they're really good because there's no explanation of what it really does. Yeah, and I just remember it being OP. I don't really remember the specifics of the ability. Yeah, I just know that it's so good. I had it always active, and it really helped your survivability significantly. It really makes the difference between dying instantly and, you know, easily surviving most fights. It's so satisfying, the particle effects, like they disintegrate, and yeah, if the core gameplay is good, your game's gonna be fun, right? It's just how it is, man. Like if your game feels like ass to play, nobody's gonna play it again, right? They might play it once. There's so many like AAA games that are story driven, and they're like really a good first experience, but you'll never touch them again because they're like, once you know the story and the things, right, the gameplay isn't good enough to kind of make you come back. That's why I really value games that have fun gameplay the most, because it really, I mean, I like story games too, but I really think a good story game with good gameplay is a great game. And then you make the story skippable, and then you have both, right? A good game and a good story. Yeah, I think the one doesn't exclude the other. But definitely a lot of games are just like, yeah, we want to tell a story and we just use games as a medium instead of movies, and yeah, we don't really care about gameplay. And that's why we make the 100 walking sims, which is why I think a lot of horror games are shit. Since I don't get scared, for me they're shit, right? And then there are a few like Resident Evil, which is not like really horror, but you know, horror-esque games. They are really fun because the gameplay loop is fun. And that's also why I'm really interested in playing the new Silent Hill remake at some point. And also the Dead Space remake, because I think those games are fun story experiences, but also have fun gameplay. I mean, maybe not as replayable as this one. This one is, you know, like obviously a looter shooter to some degree, so. Yeah, so you can definitely tell this has a lot of replayability. But the main reason why I replay it is not because it has a lot of loot or like a lot of different classes or anything. It's just because the core gameplay is just that fun. I guess, you know, you could say it's a bit like Warframe to some degree, but I haven't played Warframe in like a bit. Yeah, this is like the gun, looks so funny. Oh, so good. I don't know why, but this works really well. Whoever had the idea not to hide the gun in that scenario, you're brilliant, man. Like, this feels so good. You could think it's so silly that to make the character disappear, but it helps you see and still know where you're aiming, and it just feels right, to be honest. Could imagine playing the entire game that way and feeling good about it. Oh yeah, and also there's a Twitch bot that can ban like viewbotting ads efficiently. At some point I should probably look into that. It's also free, so probably not no harm in getting him in there. Okay, yeah, really, really nice atmosphere here. Definitely like the change of daytime. Yeah, also new Borderlands coming out. I don't know when, I think 2026? Something. Obviously gonna play it. I really hope they still put gameplay first, because that's why they're so fun, right? Like, if Borderlands would ever get shit gameplay, I mean, the story is nice and everything, but for me, it's always about gameplay first. And them improving it so much in Borderlands 3 versus 2 from a, like, fluidity perspective, I hope if they can make it happen even more so in the fourth one, that would be dope. Just like a very, very fluid, like this one is so seamless, right? Like Borderlands still has a bit of this, like, go here, do this, go there, go do this, and here you just like brain off and full send. It just works so nicely. See, I don't even know if the armor is worth it, because you get 8k for rolling, right? 8k is my entire gear. Like, the rolling boost is crazy good. Like, it's crazy strong. And Jakub, you know what, the characters, really, if you like story in this game, I think I was like memeing on it. At first I was like, really, when I played it, the demo, I was like, oh yeah, just don't brain that stupid game. But then, you know, the story and the way they told it really was captivating. So yeah, I think it's not brilliant or anything, but it's really good for what you would expect it to be in such a game. Like, this is a game that could have gotten away with like the dumbest story ever, because the gameplay is so good. And they kind of managed to make it good. Yeah, really one of the studios I have my eyes on for sure. Like, it's also cool to see this and Witchfire, both different like rests of the Painkiller devs, still delivering high quality S tier gunplay to this day. Like, you can just tell there's like people that know what they're doing behind these games.
Hey, boss. Did we really have to break
Sorry,
with us?
what?
Ugh, she give me the stink eye every time
Yeah, I always make the mistake of trying to do it like this. I think the way you do it is you just TP there. And then you pick up the quest and then you track it. Yeah, it's a bit unintuitive, even, you know, after doing it so many times, but just a small tweaks, a few tweaks here and there to this system could have made it much better. For example, here we're looking for the quest, right? Somewhere there is a quest. But the thing is, you can see top left, the radar. There's no exclamation mark when you spawn in, right? It's just not there. When you come close enough, it shows you. I think it should always show, to be honest. The biomes are not that big that it would be annoying.
Well, this should be interesting.
And now we can pick it up,
Might as
and
well
now
put
you
my
can
skills to
track
good use.
radars. I mean, and now you can track the mission. Or not. Sometimes you can track it. This time I guess you can't. Whatever reason. Yeah, this is really weird. Then we picked it up and we have to go somewhere else. Yeah, sometimes, like I said, it has some kind of weird quirks to the progression and design. There's kind of wonkiness to it. And I really don't know why they didn't fix it to this day, because I don't think they are hard to fix, the issues. But I mean, I get this one, right? This is a system that is an algorithm that was programmed and has flaws, right? It's probably hard to fix relative to what you know, what the other problems are. But the UI stuff where you just like can't click on things to track them ahead of time, that is so easy to fix. Unless they really had issues getting this system here to work more efficiently. They're really relying on it a lot. You can use the map, but the map is vastly inferior from a navigation perspective. Yeah, so there it's kind of weird because the game level design is really good from a flow perspective, but these things are just like, they feel like they're unnecessary issues. In the next game, hopefully they have enough money that they can also invest into fixing those smaller things instead of the big things, because the important things are there for sure. It's, even with those issues, it's still one of the most seamless transitions in this type of, I guess, game. Yeah, it's still Borderlands 3, while being way better than Borderlands 2 from a like navigation perspective, is still vastly inferior to this from a flow perspective, and not in a bad way, right? I think it also has its charm that you know, you can explore a bit more in Borderlands versus this game. But if you just want to shoot things and not get bothered by the game, I think it's comparable to maybe Tiny Tina's Wonderland, which was a very, very streamlined experience. I'm gonna die here? No, I'm not. Because we had the OP ability ready. Okay. Got him. Yeah, 2xing your damage is definitely what makes this build work. Yeah, if you would remove one skill from this build, you could. I think you can get by not having. Where is it? Not this one. This one I think is pretty good, honestly, in conjunction with the reload, really, really good. And this one, pretty optional, to be honest. You don't really need this. You could put any of the other skills if you want to. I really like it for the mobility. Compared to the other ones, which are all like non-mobility based skills. I mean, this one, I guess, is somewhat also mobility based, but it's very gimmicky, right? Like, I don't know. I feel like this is maybe the most underwhelming ability of all. And this one sounds like, you know, it could be pretty cool to have, but you don't really need it because this one already does the same and better. But yeah, this one is, I think, is the most important ability, just because of the 2x factor for this build. Yeah, the doubling of the ability and the interrupt, right? This is, again, I want to showcase this maybe. It doesn't say interrupt. And this one here says interrupt, right? Type damage interrupt, type deception. But it is an interrupt skill. Maybe it's not about the fact it can interrupt enemies, but it's about the category, about the buffs in the skill tree. Oh, maybe that's why it doesn't count for it. I don't know. Yeah, it might be some kind of, maybe I misunderstood what it's supposed to be. Because it definitely is an interrupt skill, right? Here you can see it interrupted him, so maybe it's just like for what it counts as in a build perspective to make it not too OP. I actually don't know. The Hornets. It's kind of weird. You can't really ADS when you're in front of cover. You might be wondering, why are you not shooting sometimes? That's because the cover blocks me from shooting. Like, see, I can't... Kind of... I mean, I can't shoot, but it's really awkward. Like, it adds delay to the animation. Yeah, and what do I think about the game being a cover shooter from a design perspective? Well, not being a cover shooter, it's kind of weird, right? It's like the least cover shooter I've ever seen. And it doesn't mean you can't shoot. You can definitely play it as a cover shooter, but I kind of feel like this is forcing the player to do to play the game in a worse way. Right? I mean, it's great for people that maybe, you know, accessibility reasons that just want to play like this, right? And then you go and change cover. I guess you can't even press... Wait, can you press cover into cover? I don't even know how the cover system works. Oh wait, no, the game tells you space. What does that mean? I just climb it, right? I don't even know if the game has some kind of... Yeah, here you can see, right? Yeah, look at this. You can play the game like this. Right? And that is so weird, because the game feels so great when you play it like an action-paced game, but you can play it like a, almost like a Rainbow, no, not Rainbow Six, but you can play it like so slow and strategically instead, right? Like this, right? It has this really interesting covers. It walks automatically, right? I do nothing, right? I just hold control, the cover button, and I just change cover. But I feel like the game is so much fun without it. Why would you have it in the game? I guess it's nice as an option. So what would I have done? I would have probably made an auto cover shooter like Tomb Raider. I mean, auto cover not in a way that you automatically take cover by leaning against the cover. Let's see. I mean, auto cover in a way that the character just ducks behind cover, right? So I walk behind cover, and the character just, you know, it just keeps the speed but goes a little bit prone, not prone, like into crouching. So yeah, that would have been my preferred way, because I think the game is so action based. It's like casually, quickly taking cover and moving out of it would be fine. But I guess for console maybe, like just like Forspoken also, like there's this core idea they had when making the game that kind of doesn't feel at home on maybe mouse and keyboard. I don't know, but I feel like even on control with aim assist you would be fine. So yeah, kind of don't really know why they made it a cover shooter in the first place. It really doesn't make a lot of sense. I mean, you can just like for fun. Oh yeah, try Trenchtown. We can like wait. No, we have to go to Trenchtown. You don't have any additional objectives. I mean, just for fun, we can try playing it as a cover shooter, but it doesn't really make sense because you get TP'd out of cover constantly. So with other classes, I can see it more, but even then, the moving behind, I don't know. I was just like thinking how that would be more fun to me. I can imagine some people might enjoy it, but it just feels like it's wasting so much potential. And I really hope there are not a lot of people that would have preferred playing like I do and never thought about it and just like played it like Gears of War, which you might say then is an inspiration for it.
Who's that?
Yeah, I think the cover mechanics of Gears of War really don't make the game more fun to me personally. I think Gears of War without cover is a significantly more fun game to me. And I mean, you need the cover mechanic there way more than here. Here it's completely optional.
I found your friend. Really?
And I guess it really depends on the class how much you want to use it. But yeah, let's just try to use it just for fun with this class, where it doesn't make any sense to be honest. But what the fuck am I doing? I have no idea what the fuck I'm doing. I'm just gonna hand in the quests. Yeah, also the game has a pretty nice movement speed. I don't like that they zoom out so much for sprinting, but I guess this is what to make you feel faster, what a lot of games do. But yeah, if you have a high base FOV, zooming out further is just kind of weird. And you should make it optional, to be honest. Monster Hunter. Oh, this ice trap was so broken. This is one of the most broken ones. Yeah, I just couldn't remember. It is incredibly broken. I think I will take that over shield. Ah, yeah, stand tall is really good if you're out of cover. So the game knows that people will play without cover, obviously. But they still have the cover playstyle in there. And I guess there are also bonuses for it, so... It's just, I don't know, I couldn't imagine playing it and having as much fun. Rolling firepower.
You know where to find.
So now we have the auto cover bonus. I mean, we can just put it on, I guess. And the freeze trap, which I'm not sure I like more than the other ones, because it's a bit more situational, because it doesn't have a long range effect. But it's really good. It is really, really good. Why don't you tell me that I already have this one? Oh, it only tells you if you have it equipped. Yeah, I don't need any of those. Reloading weapon inflicts slow on enemies previously. This doesn't make any sense for us. Yeah, these are like, I mean, it has good base stats, I guess.
Pleasure doing.
I have no idea how good this one is, to be honest.
Pleasure doing.
Or maybe we don't have it. Okay, these are, oh my god, they must be so old. Wait, this is 2K and it's better than ours? Really? Oh, we still have a 2K 1 year, whoops. I mean, this is just if you run out of ammo for this build. I think there might be a good build with it, but I'm not sure. Me? Nah, it's never a good idea to go for a sniper rifle here. Okay. And we should dismantle all of them. Yeah, but buying items is obviously also a good way to unlock mods a bit more faster. So if you want to sell items, if you're looking for a specific mod and you don't want a mod just yet, just going to the vendor and looking for items that have the mod can also be very viable, right? Just go here and check if someone has something you want. And, you know, then you can sell items and buy it. I don't know how expensive they are, though. Like, how much you would have to sell for it. Because we never sold, so we don't have a lot of money. No, that's a horrible idea, because we don't have our gear ready. Yeah, and also the armor sets look nice, right? It's a mix of Destiny and a bit of uniqueness.
Be careful in the wreckage zone. I'm not sure what effect high radiation levels might have on an altered.
Yeah, I mean, 2 times longer sounds great.
I'm glad you're all right, Outrider. When we heard you went...
Wait, didn't we say this one was not worth changing because we had like a rolling bonus on the other one? Oh, I disassembled it. Well, unlucky. I don't roll that much, so I'm like not that interested in that.
Looks like it's hanging by a thread. But I guess this place is always looking.
Yeah, so here the question is ice trap over shield. I think shield is better, to be honest. Because it has infinite range. I mean, yeah, the ice trap can be really, really good though. And it only has a 5-second. Oh, this only has a 5-second cooldown too, so. Okay, nice. Oh, this is really good. Skill leech. This is really nice. Yeah, this is also almost mandatory because it gives you infinite heals. Yeah, I guess, yeah, this, I should keep this one up. A lot of really good ones, but we still want to make sure we have the additional bounces. And this one's modded, and this one is not modded. Here we have the barrel roll, but we could also go for... I mean, personal space is 12% more damage. This is where I don't know what is better. Because they're all good, right? Like it's not like here, for example, this one sounds really good. 500 firepower. Instead of only when rolling. But how much firepower do I have in the first place? So it's kind of hard to say if I don't look at it first. Yeah, we have 12k, so 500 is not much, right? If it's like linearly increasing it 5% or something, so doesn't sound too amazing. But we also get anomaly power, which I don't even know how to calculate it. Yeah, reloading is horrible. And proliferation might be good if they're slow on them, if that's the status effect even. Might not even be one. But obviously we need this one. Yeah, that's the most important one. Okay, and we are good to progress here.
If memory serves, there's a nice joint with some good tail around the corner. Tell him Picasso sends his regards.
Okay, there's still an active quest here, and there are 2 quests over here.
Yeah, I know.
Which I guess I never picked up. And the reason why you miss quests is because the way the minimap works is just like stupid. As you can see, there's no quest visible on the minimap just now. But I'm pretty sure once I move around the space, yeah, I'll see certain quests pop up. So. I don't even care.
Between the sap you collected and excess spinal fluid from the front lines, we should be able to finally produce enough antidote to share.
Yeah, and these transitions are completely unnecessary. Like the loading times you get here are like completely stupid. Like you could reduce those by half easily. So I don't even know why the devs went out of their way to make it so annoying.
His girlfriend took it too far.
Yeah, we don't have our damage bonus active, but as you can see, even without the damage bonus, it's okay-ish. I mean, it's not great, but it's okay. I do wonder if the shield and the golem together are not kind of overkill, like if it's too much. But I guess not dying, and we deal enough damage, right? That's always the question I ask myself. Do I deal enough damage? And the answer is yes. And you can play like this, right? Like, oh my god, I'm so strategic. This is horrible, oh my god. Okay, now I go back into cover. It's so funny how it automatically just walks there. Or it doesn't. And I don't even know why you have to hold it. It makes it so awkward that you have to hold it and then it just goes slowly into cover. I don't know. It's cute that you can do that, but it's also fucking, I don't know, like, why? Oh no, we're fucked. Oh, you know why the fucking shit doesn't reload? Oh, I was like, why doesn't this, why does it keep going away? Because we didn't change the variant. Yeah, this is a great demonstration why I think this variant of the shotgun is trash. Because only the last shot can replenish it, right? 30%. So, yeah, that's why you should always check the variant.
The prize is mine.
I was like really confused why this shit doesn't work, and it also deals less damage. So it has less, it's just bad, honestly. I think the balance of these two is just like straight up garbage. But maybe I'm wrong and the faster reload compensates in other builds, but in this build I can't see a world where I would ever recommend this version. But really big props that to the game for being able to just swap this variant at any time. Still get it right. 1k more damage, double the mag, crit multiplier, for a little bit of reload and range. And a spread, but the spread is irrelevant. I think it's even a bonus, to be honest. So, like slug versus non-slug is. I kind of don't get the logic behind slug shotguns. I wonder if they're just like there to have some kind of wall banging potential. Because just if you think about it, like the point of a shotgun is to easily hit targets at close range by hitting some of your bullets, right? It's like basically praying and spraying. So like putting a buckshot in it, which is like a single bullet, what is the point most times, right? Why not use a different version of the gun then? It's like a sniper rifle at close range. I guess it must be because of penetration stuff. I don't know too much about real weapons, right? I play video games and I'm not a weapons expert. So. There might be real reasons, but in games, for the most part, I almost never see a reason for it. Unless it has significantly more damage in a multiplayer game or something.
Damn. Girl took off into the forest.
Yeah, like I said, these are loading screens, but they're so short that there could have been no loading screens. And I think the reason why it's a bit annoying, and it's also unavoidable because they're loading screens, is that they're cutscenes, right? If it was like fluidly in the game, like it's like a fluid transition, it would work well. But the thing is, it's a loading screen, so you can't avoid that being a cutscene, and this like makes it weird. Not a huge deal, just like auto skip them for me, thank you. Yeah, now we also have lifesteal, so whenever we kill something, even if we don't kill something, if we shoot it, it's probably insane. And yeah, by the way, because I mentioned the cover shooter part, you can see this does not have cover. So the devs definitely were aware that the cover mechanic is not quintessential, and some enemies just don't work with it. So they kind of made a game that has cover shooting sections that you don't really need, and open sections where you don't take cover. Yeah, it's kind of weird, right? Like not that the game needs the cover in the first place, but it's like a nice additional option, I guess. This is like so weird because some people are so heavily designed around it. And this game has it and is not designed around it necessarily. I mean, it has some design elements that work, but... That is a real piece of shit. Yeah, we didn't even get healed because we were so far away. Poor guy. You know, I'm like all for removing unnecessary fluff animations sometimes. I don't care, just like instantly pick it up, right? I mean, yeah, it's like part of the quest, but these things, right? For me, this does not add value. It's a nice transition, I guess, but at the same time, it's like when you crouch and look at the ground, like in, I know The Witcher also has that constantly. It's just like so boring. Like the first time, yeah, sure, but if you replay a game, you know, it's like, I mean, I guess if your game is meant to be replayed, like this game, I guess for sure is. Having those in there, not a big deal, but still like, I guess, I don't know. Doesn't really add too much for me personally. You can also sort the rarity, but I don't even know why you would do that, because you can disassemble all the items anywhere and you get mats for it and money, so if you sell them. So just picking up everything seems kind of reasonable. Yeah, here we have to keep track of the ammo a bit, because you do want to give him a bit more love with the additional damage. And you can see the reason why we never even come close to dying is because of the shields, right? They're so good. So if you're struggling on this in the game and you already have those, like the golem and the shield skills really, I mean, they're like no-brainers, honestly. Like they really make the game significantly easier and help you beat a lot of stuff that would be very tight sometimes. Because at the end of the day, if you don't take cover like I do, you're gonna be constantly taking damage against ranged enemies, so there is no choice, right? And it's all about how fast you can kill them, and sometimes you will just like have a situation where you need to reload, something doesn't work out as planned, and then these skills just come in and, you know, they make it so much more forgiving and also honestly fun, because you can just like, you know, even YOLO more. And it's also, it feels like you earned it, right? At the start you're gonna get shit on, and later you're like, oh yeah, cool, now I can just like, you know, face roll the enemies a bit. Awesome. Okay. Das wurde dreimal verschoben. These are quite significant upgrades. The crit stack is really ass for this gun. Yeah, the skill leech, like I said, is pretty good, but you know, I think there are a lot of good skills. So some of them I think are mandatory in a way that I would put them into every single build. The Red Widow. And others I don't really care too much about. Oh yeah, I don't like this helmet. I just realized this helmet is visually annoying because it's too big. Yeah, there you go. And they also have some kind of sets that fit together, but you can transmog your items as well. Somehow, I think. Yeah, I'm pretty sure the game has transmog, but I don't know how. Always checking the shields first. Okay, we have the shields, and now we are free to do whatever the fuck we want. So. It bounces and additional damage right there, and now we can focus on whatever we need. I think 12% is way better. I think this is amazing, honestly. And the slow for the other one's also kind of nice. Modded, and this one is... Oh, it's unmodded and already has Golem. Really? Oh, that is great. Love to see that. I mean, there's also like the close range damage bonus, which is just like, it's just straight up good, to be honest. I think you should always take as little defense as necessary, as much offense as possible. But it's really, I think, a mistake to go all damage, because there's gonna be, you have enough damage at some point in this game. I mean, almost enough, right? You know what, this sounds good already. Yeah, just like looking at this one, has everything we need. Regenerative shield stuff. Yeah, all good. Yeah, I kind of wish they could fast travel from the map here. It's kind of silly that you have to go to him every single time in order to advance further. Yeah, I'm not gonna go back every single... I mean, every now and then, you know, backtracking here is kind of nice because you can visually easily see where you need to go, so it doesn't feel annoying. And yeah, it's kind of nice also that we can see... Yeah, this, like, you can see your transporter. Just, there's also like kind of microtransactions in the game behind it. Yeah, and now you can see right there, it's like, this is all like forest stuff, so you might think it's only forest, but there's really a good amount of variety in the biome, so don't worry about it. If you are not too much into forest, there's also other stuff. Yeah, and also here, right, it's still forest, but I think it's diverse enough to be fun, right? Now they have like these ruins, they introduce new enemy types.
Right now, I'd bet Kang's more interested in finding us.
Yeah, guess you didn't expect that damage. And here you can see, right, I'm being constantly shot, and not every single time I have the ability to heal back up. So having a bit more time between those encounters can really make the difference between having to really go into cover and wait, or like playing even like more aggressively, I guess, and being able to chill a bit and just like, you know, regain the cooldowns naturally. Yeah, really nice visually, this area for sure. Yeah, enemy AI, you know, functional. Definitely nothing to complain about there. Like from a gameplay perspective, they shoot at you, right? And they walk sometimes.
Maybe he'll turn up around here.
Enough to make you feel like they're doing their job. So.
If August wants to be found, August will find us.
Count me in.
Yeah, I know the next arena was very difficult. Why are you not auto-tracking these, you bitch? I'm just so curious why you're not tracking them automatically. And usually it says, do you want to track something? And you're like, yeah, sure. And here it's just like, I don't give a shit. I'm not going to track anything for you. But the ambient sounds and visuals are really, it just like, it feels very consistent. And I really appreciate how far away you can hear waterfalls in this game. A lot of games have these waterfalls that can become omega loud once you're close, but you can't hear them from further away. And this is definitely not the case for this game. You can very, very nicely hear them. And also the visuals on the knife are very clear. You really know which one is tagged and very nice. No idea why you... You don't need to do this, by the way. I always mention that because some people might not like it. It's not bad to do it because the resources are useful. But I think you get enough by disassembling, so you don't really need to worry about it. Yeah, it just takes a while until you can target them. Ooh. It looks so cool with the weapon. It's such a nice touch. Was wollte er?
Ich weiß es nicht. Weil die hat bestellt, nicht so. Wer sind Sie? Was wollen Sie von mir?
Hä, dann hättest du gesagt, ja, ich habe bei McDonald's bestellt. Okay.
Was ist denn?
Ja, offensichtlich kann er kein Deutsch. Wunder was. Ja, der kann halt kein Deutsch. Das ist halt einfach. Yeah, another person working in Germany that doesn't speak German. Nothing surprising. Really bad with delivery guys though. Like, I get it, it's a job where you don't need to speak a lot, but like the basic words like I'm a food delivery guy from place X, like one sentence would really be helpful. Ich glaube, da kann einfach kein Wort Deutsch.
Ich kann, aber ich weiß immer noch nicht, was er von mir wollte.
Er wollte einfach nur Bescheid geben, dass er gleich da ist.
Ich
Wahrscheinlich. Ich weiß es nicht.
Ruf doch nicht an vorher an und frag ihn, ob er bestellt hat. Natürlich habe ich bestellt. Ich habe 30 Euro für mich.
Marvin, er kann einfach kein Deutsch und fertig.
Aber nicht, warum hat er...
Wahrscheinlich, weil er Bescheid geben wollte, dass er gleich da ist. Was weiß ich. Yeah, I mean... you know, it's just like, it's what it is. People don't speak German in Germany anymore, so it's kind of annoying because you can also speak with them in English, so it's like, yeah, but it's just it's usually it's not just the delivery guys, and I get it, right? There are people from Ukraine here that have been in the country for like not a long time, and they still needed a job or something. But at the end of the day, I should have picked up the fucking flag. Fuck. My bad. At the end of the day, it's still annoying because you can't know what they want. I'm often das ist echt nicht gut gehandelt.
Was soll ich dieser Handy? Er hat die ganze Zeit das Gleiche gesagt. Er hat meine Fragen nicht
Dann
beantwortet.
hast du gesagt, ja, ich habe bei McDonald's bestellt.
Ich doch.
Hast du nicht.
Aber er kam doch gerade wieder hoch und meint, hat bestellt. Und ich war so, ja, sie haben da geklickt, wo ich angegeben habe. Was ist die Frage?
Er war wahrscheinlich sich unsicher, ob das die richtige Adresse ist.
Alex, das Klingel steht.
Ja, aber trotzdem ist er sich vielleicht unsicher gewesen, als sagen, ja, ich habe bei McDonald's bestellt. Fertig. Dann hätte er wahrscheinlich
Aber
gesagt,
ich weiß
okay.
nicht, ob das sein Problem war.
Doch, sein Problem war, er war sich nicht sicher, ob die richtig
Nein,
ist.
das war's
100%,
wahrscheinlich nicht.
doch.
Wahrscheinlich war's ihm
Nein.
gefunden.
Was? Ja, aber es wäre offensichtlich sein Problem, dass er sich nicht sicher war, ob er in der richtigen Adresse ist. Ganz offensichtlich. Ja, die Leute sind doch offensichtlich öfters zu dumm, hierher zu kommen. Scheint ja nicht das erste Mal zu sein. Okay, this is the most pointless dead end in the game. I mean, you know, at least it's visually interesting, but it's also a dead end. So the food is here. I think we're gonna do the one section ahead. It's like 2 minutes. And then I'm gonna call it for today. But as you can see, even like the jungle biomes, right, they're not like resting on having one thing. Everything's like nicely crafted, and they really, you can tell whoever made this, to try to, you know, keep it diverse and not just like copy paste their assets from A to B. So yeah, for sure, huge props for them doing that back then. I mean, it's like 3 years old. I still think to this day you can for sure play the game and
Might as well put my skills to good use.
and have a good time. Wie gesagt, ich verstehe, dass es nervig war, aber trotzdem kannst du es freundlicher handhaben. Ja, wahrscheinlich. Nein, das hat er bestimmt. Doch, das hatte McDonald's hat er bestimmt. Der wollte nur McDonald's hören wahrscheinlich. Weil der alles andere kennt er wahrscheinlich nicht. Aber das. Ja, natürlich, weil er kein Deutsch kann, aber trotzdem. Ja, aber. Ich will nicht falsch machen, ob er es rausfinden können, was er wollte, ohne dass du.
Könnte ja auch die heißen, die Verstellung da. Ich war das eine Frage.
Nee, ich glaube, es war eine Frage. Doch, scheinbar schon. Oh, these guys are fucked on HP. What the fuck? Oh my god, this guy is the fucking end boss. Oh, that's fine. Oh yeah, I was just waiting for the fucking cooldown here. Ah shit, we got the reload. He's gonna do the fucking skin upgrade. Oh my god. Got him. And like I said, if you play this and you don't turn off the dynamic difficulty scaling and you don't have a good build, you might struggle here a bit, like I did also, I think the first time I was here. So don't worry about that. You might see this and I'm just face rolling it. This is definitely not easy if you don't have a good build. Yeah, the reason why this looks easy is because the build is good. And not good, I don't know if it's a good build relative to what is possible in the game. It's good relative to what you would probably have by this point with no knowledge of the game, right? Yeah, that's what I mean. So don't be disencouraged. You can lower the difficulty. You can maybe look up a build if you don't want to think of one. If you like this playstyle, obviously just copy paste it. It's not the optimal version, very likely, because I didn't do any math and I'm not like, didn't, you know, cross-validate it on Reddit or anything. So, but it's perfectly functional. Definitely not optimized. Like the likelihood of this being an optimal build is very low, but the likelihood of this being a trash build is also very low, because I did play enough of the game to see other builds, and I'm pretty sure this is not complete garbage. We have one more shot, which is... Ooh! Oh no, this is also... Ah, I didn't TP to the guy behind him. Oh my god, I'm stupid. Yeah, all I did was I wanted to keep my reload active. Yeah, and the game definitely has difficulty spikes, so there are definitely areas in the game that are significantly harder than others. And yeah, it especially has to do with these guys that just like fuck your like prevent you from using abilities. Those guys are really not nice. I don't know what the fuck I'm doing. They're gonna fucking shit on me. Or not. Because they're so mean. They can freeze you and everything. Like that. That's really tough. I wonder, did they have weapons that have the same effect on them? I think so. Yeah, I think they drop weapons with the effect they apply onto you. So you can already guess what mod they sometimes have. Yeah, and if everything fails, you can still play with cover, so there's still a fallback for a bit more relaxed gameplay, because there is regenerative HP to the bar in the bottom left, but it's really not comparable to the other defensive measures, so it's more of a really last resort. Yeah, just a reminder, because you might be seeing these and you're like, oh, they all look kind of the same, right? Like, they copy-pasted it over and over again. And the reason, I mean, first of all, I think maybe that's true, I don't even know. No, I think there might be slightly distinctly rotated, or not. Maybe a little bit, I don't know. But just a reminder, not everyone has like $1 billion like Kong, so that everyone can afford like an infinite amount of asset quality, but the game really has good asset quality, right? The average quality is very consistent. Yeah, the next checkpoint is where we call it. Yeah, definitely to this day visually a very pleasing game. Also great HDR, like I said already.
I need to get the receiver out there.
Oh, I might have had a skill point for like an entire level and not used it. Oops. Well. Never mind. Yeah, the leveling slows down at some point for sure. But at that point you already have so much to use that, you know, it's like not a big deal. Gives you something to look forward to later. And you're also like more like doing stuff with your gear instead of... Okay, there should be a checkpoint really close. I mean, there are constantly checkpoints in the game, so... And hey Apricorn, you're just back for the food. Oh, of course it's the boss fight, yes. The entire game's full of checkpoints, but of course I finished the game right in front of the fucking checkpoint. Oh yeah, by the way, this is one of those moments where you will notice we're gonna have to run away a bit, because I can't climb this? Oh my god. Yeah, this boss fight without life leech is, again, like I said, like the recovery mechanic is based on killing. And if you don't kill, yeah, if you don't kill, you don't... Oh my god, fuck you.
Nah, I think I'm gonna have a little fun with this.
Okay, we should go and play this like a cover shooter here. Yeah, exactly. I remember this was one of my complaints about the original playthrough. The complaint was that the game uses attacks that go through walls that you can't see and that shouldn't go through walls. Yeah, a minor complaint, but still a complaint. Yeah, you can dodge these, I think. Yeah, or not, maybe. I don't know. Yeah, this is kind of stupid because now we're in cover, right? But she's gonna use an ability that.
Bullshit. You think just because you have all that power you can boss me around? Well, not anymore. I'm taking you down.
Yeah, some of the abilities can penetrate, others can't, so...
I don't want to hurt you.
Shot her with the shotgun 10 times in the face. Yeah, and also she punishes you going up close, which is already punishing enough, because you're like a... Yeah, we could still die any moment here, unfortunately. At least her CC immunity is, I mean, it's pretty long, for real. Okay, got her. Yeah, your timing was perfect for
Hey, Yaku.
the end, unfortunately. But my voice is also pretty strange, so it's kind of
I don't know how to say this.
fitting. Okay, yeah, this is a good point to call it here. I'm just gonna allocate the skill point.
Yeah, but just
This one's
listen.
terrible because it never ends. I think this is an IQ test. This is close range damage and this is weapon damage general, so I think this is an IQ test. If you can take multiple ones, right? But I think this one is objectively just the better version of this one. So if you only take one, this one would be it. But okay, as always, thanks a lot for watching. Have a great rest of your day. Tomorrow, and thanks Apricorn. I hope you also enjoy your food if you haven't eaten already, or enjoyed it if you have. And tomorrow, we're gonna play something. No idea what actually. Maybe Outriders, but you know, this was just a showcase, so you can see a bit what the game is like. And it's really fun. I really recommend it. And full playthrough is available in German, I think. Maybe as a VOD. I don't know if it's like on YouTube back then. But yeah, tomorrow, no idea. Maybe it's gonna be the great return of Metaphor. Maybe I'm gonna start playing Star Wars Outlaw. Maybe it's gonna be Kina, Bridge of Shadows, a Souls-like I haven't played yet, which looks really cute, but is okay from a gameplay perspective. I bought it in the Steam sale, so maybe it's gonna be that. So no idea. Yeah, tomorrow maybe random game. But as always, thanks for watching. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Bye bye.